has. Very weak.
I just realized I don't have any.
I know, you're unprepared. Hold on.
Yeah, I just drank coffee, so I don't want to drink an energy drink because I do have to sleep.
Very true. This is the Seagrams, everybody.
Look at you.
Welcome to WeNeedWrestling. Me and Brett been drinking coffee, so we don't need energy drinks right now.
Nope.
We're fucking hardwired.
To self-destruct?
Nope.
We're so fucked.
Yep. Shit out of luck. Jesus Christ, James. What are you doing?
I mean, it's
a good riff.
I mean, it's better than some of the lyrics on Saint Anger.
Well, everything is just better than the lyrics.
Oh, come on. Not frantic. No. Tick, 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 tock.
No.
My lifestyle determines my death style.
No.
Come on.
I still have a little bit of coffee left.
What about the song Sweet Amber? Do you know the song Sweet Amber?
I don't.
How sweet are you? Sorry. I just watched it this week.
Sure did.
It's stuck in my head.
That's what they're making on that. Oh, Jesus Christ! They managed to we're Metallica.
We have to watch it.
We're gonna do a documentary on our worst album. I mean, they didn't know it was their worst album at the time.
I need you both to text DJ and tell him how we need.
I'll watch it at any point.
Some kind of can we watch it tomorrow?
You're acting like
I'd like to watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, we can watch it tomorrow when we're all hanging out. I don't care. That's fine. Post Wings on Wings recording. Spoilers. It must be so disappointing.
Monster.
What was the thing that's like the movie with like the dude running from like the riots and stuff?
Oh, that was their like actual like theatrical movie.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't remember. I never saw that. I saw like the opening scene.
I think I might have thought they were the same thing. That could be why no.
Oh, brother.
I mean, I'm not resistant. I'll watch whenever. I don't give a shit.
It covers from when like Newstead leaves the band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
All through the making of Saint Anger and Hetfield going to rehab and stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah. And so like Torrio. Oh, is that the clip where Torrio tells Lars he's playing the song wrong? No. Is that in this? No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but this is like it goes right up to where Trujillo joins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's do this sick ass documentary, and then they had just happened to write their worst record.
Yeah. It's fucking stock.
It's incredible.
It's fucking stock.
Welcome to WeNeedWrestling.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I want to fast forward to tomorrow so we can watch
That's
this.
Brett.
Hello. Hi.
That's called going to sleep.
No, it's called Some Kind of Monster.
No, I'm saying you go to sleep, it's like fast forward.
Yeah, but
tomorrow.
I want it right now. Now, Doug, get me my time machine right now and my pitchfork gun.
I'd say they want the time machine before the pitchfork gun?
That is true. I need
pitchfork gun's way easier
to take in the time machine with me.
And Doug hasn't even shown us a single prototype for the pitchfork gun.
Doug, it's only been about 15 years, Doug. What
are
we doing?
When you're expecting a time machine out of him?
How dare you? He's working on other things.
That is true. It's hard being a multi-time life coach and award winner.
And a multi-time death coach as well.
That's true, yes. Lawyer. Legal counsel.
Dentist.
Oh, he's a dentist. Yeah. I didn't know he went to dental school.
You're an anti-dentite.
Give me that fucking reindeer. How
sweet are you?
Jesus Christ. Off the rail. We both
this happens when we have coffee at like 8 o'clock at night.
We both had the signature frosted donut lattes from Dunkin', right? That's what you had?
No, I just had normal coffee.
Oh, okay. Well, I had the latte.
I think I've realized, because now this is the last 2 times I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah.
It's fucked me up. Like, made me real jittery.
Yeah, it's tough. All right.
Because I don't drink coffee all the time.
Yeah, it usually makes me anxious. I'm not anxious. I'm just talk fasting.
Well, talk fasting. Okay.
Fast talking.
All right. Stanson.
You. How are you, pal?
Let's
get into business.
I'm great.
Brass tacks.
I am.
We got a little bit to talk about. There was a pay-per-view. There were actually 2 pay-per-views, but we don't watch one, and one of them's a PLE. I guess there's only one pay-per-view because the other one's a Blood Money PLE.
I don't watch that.
Listen to Final Wrestling Place for a recap of that. There's an early plug for you guys.
There you go.
You good though? Yeah, sorry, I talked over the entire thing of you.
I have 0 to complain about.
Okay,
I had a nice week.
Yeah, no airing of the grievances?
No airing of grievances. Okay. I went to a hardcore show and then hung out with all my dogs.
You did go to a hardcore show, yeah. And I'm going to a hardcore show this weekend.
Yes, you are.
Look at us. Look at us getting out in the world.
Down with the core, baby.
Yeah.
Or down for the core, not down with the core. Sound like I'm demanding it to go down.
That's right.
Down for it.
Yeah. All right.
That's about it. How are you?
I'm good. I'm all coffeeed up. I'm fucking wired.
Yeah, man.
Wired.
You're going to crash so hard.
I am going to crash real hard. That's fine. And I'll drink an energy drink. Then I'll be up till 4 a.m.
Are you going to drink a whiskey drink and then a
vodka drink? And then the songs that remind me of the good times and songs that remind me of the better times?
Oh, Donnie boy.
What is happening?
I don't know, man. This is what happens when fucking coffee happens.
Apparently. This is what happens when coffee happens.
This is what it sounds like. All right, wrestling. You're good. I'm good. We're both good. things are good.
We got questions. We got AEW. We got pay-per-views. We got TV shows. We're going to Japan. We got Terry Funk. We got questions.
Yeah.
I actually read all the questions for this week, so I know what they are.
All right.
I don't have answers for them yet, but I know what they are.
Good. All right.
And, yeah. So, do you have any news, sir?
Nope.
There's some stuff we'll talk about as it happens in the shows.
Sure.
But I'm gonna jump into the news stream here.
I guess like the big thing was today with like
a WWE Hall of Famer gets found guilty. No, that's not. Sorry.
LOL.
Who could it be? I don't know.
What the fuck? Janelle Grant and her lawsuit.
Oh yeah. I'm not a legal scholar, so I don't quite understand all of this.
So I'll direct all your questions to Doug.
Yes.
Her lawsuit got put on pause.
Yes.
Or put on hold.
She was requested.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the DOJ is officially investigating.
Right. To bring
the criminal side
charges.
of Vince and WWE in the lawsuit. So that could be, oh boy.
That could be a big deal.
So more on that as it develops.
Here's the thing.
I think that's an important piece of news.
It's very funny that Laurinaitis flipped back, and then like a week and a half later, they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're entering criminal charges for this." It's like, oh shit. But yeah, it's who knows? We're not legal experts, so we don't know.
Nope.
But it doesn't seem good as far as I can tell.
Yeah. More is that
you know, Department of Justice is probably a scary thing.
Yeah.
A little bit harder. And like Vince is still a very rich man. So I'd be more worried if I was his, like the other people who Vince can throw overboard to save himself, to lighten his ship to get away faster.
Yep.
But, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't.
It's true. And we'll keep you posted as the story develops.
Very good. Good vernacular.
Thank you. Good word. So I just Googled pro wrestling news. Boop, 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 boop. So this is pretty big wrestling news that broke today. About 4 hours ago, we were talking about it in the Discord. Missy Hyatt and Jim Ross bumping uglies. Doing the beast with two backs.
What the fuck?
The horizontal mambo.
Bumping uglies.
Bumping uglies, yep.
Knocking boots, making whoopee.
Exactly.
Cool. Fucking.
Yeah, Missy Hyatt said that in an interview on
going to the bone zone.
Renee is the duty to coke, the fucking allegedly. He said it wasn't, but we know it was on his podcast. Renee Dupree. On his podcast. I thought it was Miss Renee's podcast at first, and then I was like, because Renee's in the name, I was like, wait, what happened to oral sessions
anymore?
But well, she's too busy being awesome.
Yeah, being perfect.
And doing commentary for Sukaban as we record this.
Which is airing right now.
Yeah. But she said that after JR's wife died, Jan, tragically, from an accident, they dated for a couple of years, and he rocked her world. So old JR, sauce it.
Hey,
Roll Tide.
A little sassafras on that
That's
ass.
right. I don't know. He wasn't a Roll Tide guy, was he?
No, that's Alabama.
Yeah, that's Alabama.
He's Oklahoma.
So I'll put a little barbecue sauce on that, and so. Listen, here's the thing. I guess this doesn't work for JR, but like, when you tell then JR doesn't have to like brag about it to anybody either. But like, you tell that story if you're like, I slept with Missy Hyatt. You don't have to give a year.
No, you don't.
You just a minute.
The walking riot, Missy Hyatt.
Yeah, just let it. Just let everybody think that it was the late 80s, early 90s.
Good for both of them. Hey.
No, yeah, absolutely. Jim needed a little bit of fun to help with his mourning, and it's fine. Missy Hyatt, it's good for him.
Do your thing, brother.
Right, that's it. He's good old JR, and doing a good old.
Hope he's in good health as well, because I know he had a health scare recently.
He took a picture with his daughters, and he was in the hospital bed. I was like, that's a scary picture, because that's like let's get a picture with Dad before he. So
before he what? Okay.
But hopefully he's doing okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sexy Red, I don't think, do we need to talk about?
No.
Okay. Chris Jericho addresses timeline for pro wrestling retirement. All right, everyone, really quick, if you haven't read this article, no spoilers, but I'm going to need you to do this too. Close your eyes real hard and pray that when I click this, his timeline is tomorrow.
I wish. I'm just so done with it.
He says,
never.
He doesn't care what his haters have to say.
No shit.
He said, I just went and saw the Stones last week. Oh, I wonder if he saw them when Todd saw them.
Oh.
And Mick is 80. And you look at this guy, and he lives on a different planet. I think it's because he's been doing it since he was a teenager. I think that's the same with me. You know, I don't see myself as 53. I don't feel 53. You're right. I see you as 65. I don't work like I'm 53. You work like you're 65. I just do what I do, and I think it's more instinct at this point in time. There was a spot in the match where they literally dumped me on the back of my head, suplexed me on my head, and I'm like, fuck, man, that's not good. But with years of experience, it's just another bump. You absorb it, continue, and move forward. If I didn't think I could still compete at the highest levels, it wouldn't matter if I'm 53, 33, or 73. I wouldn't do it. I know what I'm capable of, and the last thing I would do is just be here for the sake of being here. Oh, that's the last thing you would do? That's not my vibe. I would never put a timeline on anything. It's like Kiss does a retirement tour, and then 2 years later, they're still on tour, and then 10 years later, they're done with it or whatever it may be. I've never been the type of guy to put a number on it. It's how I feel. So, he, in fact, does not put a timeline on it. Thank you.
Cool.
Inside News article.
Yeah, thank you for the clickbait.
Becky Lynch is going on hiatus when her contract expires.
Yeah, so apparently her contract's up this weekend.
Yeah.
And, she's going to take a break. So, good for Becky. Well-deserved break.
Yes.
And apparently Chad Gable's contract is up next weekend.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ric Flair stopped Kurt Angle from going to WCW. Called Vince McMahon on the spot.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. Ric Flair was on the Style and Profiling guest.
Flair told the story?
That's a lie.
That it's half true.
On Busted Open Radio, and he talked about the array of stars during the Attitude Era. Flair then mentioned how he flat out told Kurt Angle, who was looking to get into pro wrestling, to avoid WCW. I said, you don't want to go to Atlanta, brother. You will get lost.
Oh, my God.
Brother Ray Dudley asked Flair for clarification. And he said, we were in a gym working out in Nashville, Tennessee, and I met Kurt several times. And he walked over and said, I'm thinking about getting into professional wrestling. And he said, what do you think about me going to WCW? Flair thought about it for a second and said, I went in the locker room, got my phone, came out, called Vince, put him on the phone, and he was working out with Dory Funk Jr. 2 weeks later. Kurt, when healthy, is absolutely one of the great ones. Kurt's a special kind of athlete and a special kind of guy and legitimately really tough.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, come on.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. What?
When did Kurt break in?
He won the gold medal in '96.
Yeah, when did he? But
he debuted in WWF in '99.
Yeah. So he shows up in that one ECW show.
Yeah.
In what is that? '98 then? 99? No.
I think that might have been '96.
Okay.
Yeah, because Raven was still there, and Raven goes to WCW '97, I think.
So why the fuck is Ric Flair, who is still in WCW,
again, he's
calling Vince? Like I'm saying, calling Vince McMahon. Come on, Rick.
Just put the timeline together. That's all you have to do.
Unless he's saying at that point, which I guess it would make sense if it's '99 and it's starting to fall apart. Rick would be like, don't come here. But you were there. So he had a hotline to Vince while he was working on top in WCW. I guess that makes sense. Rick's a fucking piece of shit. Allegedly. Does that cover me for any slander?
No, you could say it's your opinion about something.
And here's another interesting article really quick that I just want to run down. I know it's taking a long time, and I'm sorry. 10, it's from the Sportster.com. 10 Japanese wrestling promotions fans should know about. 10. 10. This is why I clicked on this. 10.
Okay. Can I name some?
Okay, so
you have the list up?
It's not in order because there's an article, but
okay.
So, but you can.
Okay. New Japan.
Okay, hold on. Obviously they have to be on here, but I gotta. Oh, this is a wild list, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Now, is this talking
New
about
Japan.
like?
It's not current. It's not current. It's all over. That's why I didn't know. I just scrolled through it. It's current. It's not current.
Okay. New Japan. Noah. All Japan.
Yep.
Stardom.
Yep.
All Japan Women's.
Yep.
Big Japan.
Nope.
Fuck. War.
Yep.
Tokyo Joshi Pro.
Yep.
DDT.
Yep.
Fuck, that's 8. What the fuck was the fucking...
2 more. 1 old, 1 current.
Michinoku Pro?
Nope.
Gambari Pro?
Nope.
I would say that'd be wild. Marigold? And then one old.
Yep.
What the fuck was
you're gonna be embarrassed that you're not getting this one.
What the fuck was fucking Torimon?
Nope.
Damn, really? Not Torimon?
Think about it.
Or Big Japan?
Nope. You're gonna kick yourself.
Hustle.
No.
What else?
FMW.
Oh, yeah. They're still around to me.
Well,
FMWE.
They're not. So there you go.
All right. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm shocked the most by War.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it even says the successor to Super World of Sports. It's pretty crazy.
Should have been Hustle on there. If you want some sports entertainment, brother.
I agree.
Do you agree with that list?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a pretty comprehensive list.
Boy, yeah, that's real recent miracles on there. Mm-hmm. Good for them. Somebody must have seen BOZILLA.
Yeah, this is just from 9 hours ago. Ethan Schlaba from the Sportster. And there's a write-up on each one, and even the War one is talks about Tenryu and the Eyeglasses Company, and I
like that.
Has a clip to the SWS versus WWF WrestleFest on YouTube.
Sweet.
So it's got the days they were founded, where they were headquartered and stuff.
Good shit.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Look that article up.
I'll have to. It's on the Sportster.
There were just 2 little paragraphs on each thing, but
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Look, there's a top 10 influential Japanese wrestlers in history ranked.
Ooh.
9 WCW superstars who had surprising careers after wrestling.
Damn it, I love a good list.
10 wrestlers who peaked with their first storyline, and the picture for the article is Jan Spears.
Tim and Marcus, look at these lists and run them down on Final Wrestling Place. You guys are a good list podcast.
10 most unlikable ECW champions ever.
Oh, God.
And it's Kane.
Chavo Guerrero.
The picture is, it's spoiler, is
Vince McMahon.
Is Big Show and Kane.
Okay, well.
So,
that's the only
10 80s wrestlers fans only remember because of their physiques.
The Warlord.
Uncle Elmer is in the picture.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it to him.
He's a big dude. All right. That's it for news.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. I guess we're getting down to business.
Yeah.
Business, baby.
WWE, I didn't watch anything because it was over in Saudi, and I don't watch those fucking shows.
Was SmackDown in Saudi?
Yeah.
And Raw?
No, Raw wasn't, but...
Why didn't they come to Wilkes-Barre? They should come to Wilkes-Barre after Saudi. I mean, they were just there for SmackDown, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I caught a little bit of Raw, but I don't think there was anything of importance that I remember, so...
All right. Sounds good to me, brother.
I didn't watch NXT.
Okay.
But there were...
You didn't want to see Sexy Red?
No, there were... Well, I guess then 3 debuts on NXT. Sexy Red was in the house. Jordan Grace.
I'm just going to call her Red.
Booger Red.
No.
Jordan Grace.
Yes.
Who showed up.
Showed up with her Impact title.
Yeah.
The TNA title.
It's going to be her versus Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, it's Roxanne's NXT Women's Champ.
Yeah.
So they're going to do title for title.
The Forbidden Door.
Not title for title, just
the other Forbidden Door,
champ versus
brother.
Champ, yeah. The one nobody wants to see.
And Ethan Page.
Well, and Sexy Red debuted the women's North American title. That's why she was there. Yeah.
Holy fuck. And people say AEW has so many titles.
They do.
But goddamn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of titles for NXT.
Yeah, especially when you don't have, just like in AEW, the problem is, their rosters aren't deep enough to have all these titles. AEW, it's silly to say that because AEW is, the deepest roster ever. But, they're heavy at the top.
Sure.
And so, when you start to go down the line of titles, you're like, well, what top guy do I give the opener title to?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It gets
about
tough.
That.
But the women's divisions in both companies but in NXT and AEW is pretty light to be to be having 2 titles.
Gun to head, I could not name 5 women in NXT right now. I probably can't even name 5 men in NXT right now.
Yeah, I mean, I could maybe do the men.
I'm good. Don't need to.
I want to say something really quick here that I don't say this very often, but I'm jealous of a bit on something from another show on the network.
What?
I really enjoy the blind ranking on Final Wrestling Place.
That's fun as fuck, isn't it?
It's a great bit. I've seen it before. I watched the reels of the football and stuff. Never once thought to put it into wrestling.
Yeah.
And they're doing it, and I'm like, God damn it!
That's
what a great fucking idea.
Tim and Marcus are 2 smart men.
Well, listen, here's Marcus is great, man. We've been chatting. he's going to pass on the prison lock. I recorded some videos on my phone and sent him the latest prison lock from the Ishii match because TNA does it twice and it's a good way to see it. So he could pass it on to the Pigman.
Sure.
And Tim was here. Listen, Tim left. I gave him a big hug. I told him I loved him, and I listened to Final Wrestling Place, which I know was recorded before he was here.
Yeah,
but he fucking buries Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, "Oh, you fucking Pennsylvanians with your storms. That's not a storm."
He lives in Pennsylvania. No, he doesn't live in Pennsylvania anymore.
Right?
Wow, moved out of Pennsylvania,
abandoned the state, and he starts burying it.
Real nice, Tim.
Burying it. Yep. But he wants all the goodwill in the world,
and then he buries.
Comes in my house, eats my food, sits on my porch, enjoys himself, and he's gonna bury Pennsylvania. You're going to bury Pennsylvania?
Unbelievable.
It's you know what? It's ludicrous.
Unbelievable.
It really is. But no, it's a really good bit, guys. Or not a bit. That's not. It's a really good segment, and I'm jealous of it. And I think
it's awesome.
I genuinely, I don't, Tim, I'm only teasing you, buddy. I love you. But it's Marcus is the one I don't like. But that's not true.
Wow.
But the show is very good, but I really like that as an addition. It's been a lot of fun to listen to.
I agree.
And I like that on the first time they did it, Marcus gave Tim some softballs to have a good ranking, and on the second one, Tim just set Marcus up for failure.
Yeah.
So
real nice, Tim.
Yep.
Just sandbag your friends.
Yep. Sandbag your friends, Timsy.
Real nice.
So anyway, we'll hear more from Tim later. Yeah. But yeah, so Jordan Grace challenging Roxanne Perez.
Cool.
Champ for champ. And so we were talking about this before, and now I'm all hopped up on coffee, but what the fuck does TNA think they're going to get out of this? Exposure, I guess, right? Kind of?
I don't know.
But, there's no way Jordan Grace wins. I
don't know. Maybe she does.
I had said to you, I think if the match is a draw, they should treat it like a miracle. I don't, is WWE going to let if Jordan Grace was wrestling the top women's wrestler in NXT who wasn't a champion, she'd go over. But the fact that she's wrestling the champion, there's no fucking way.
Well, they didn't announce it's for a belt or anything.
No, but they're both title holders, so it's gonna be champion versus champion. The belts aren't gonna be on the line. But
pride and respect is gonna be on the line.
Right, and WWE's gonna let that happen. There's no fucking way.
Jordan Grace, if you're getting a good payday, good for you.
Well, right, absolutely. Jordan Grace, super talented. But she's absolutely
bang bang.
She's absolutely what she's gonna get out of this is building those relationships. So when her contract's up, she's gonna get fucking signed.
Sure, yeah, she's
absolutely gonna get signed. And then maybe the masked Squid Man will end up in NXT too because
they don't hire children.
He'll need to wear 3 pairs of Jericho's boots just to fit in. But yeah, but again, I like Jordan Grace. I think she'd be better in NXT. I mean, everybody will be pretty much better than NXT and TNA. But yeah.
Poor TNA.
And then one more surprise.
Yeah, Ethan Page showed up.
And he jumps Trick Williams.
Yeah, so I saw this way after it aired.
Yeah, I just saw the clip.
Yeah, does.
What did he say? Whoop Trick or whatever?
Something like... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm about
to whoop that Trick, I believe. And then he beats him up and the camera's shaking so fucking violently.
Yep.
Almost threw me into a fucking seizure.
And the commentary is that's Ethan Page. And the guy's wasn't he in AE?
Yeah, Booker T stops and he's whoa.
Yeah. And then Ethan put a video out on social media saying that he's not signed to any company and that somebody in that locker room should have his number so they can call and talk about it if they want him to come in and face the champion or whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, Ethan Page seems like a nice guy. I know that he's got friends in and around the network, and he, is seemingly a good person and a nice guy. But NXT can take all the mid-carders they want.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people saying how it would a great get for NXT and people freaking out. And I'm just okay, I know he's got the following in AIW and a lot of indie wrestlers really like him. And that's great. I'm glad he's a nice guy. And I love that he's getting a paycheck because friends of a friend get paid. That's awesome. But has he been impactful on wrestling TV anywhere?
Not to me. I've always said I I don't get it.
Right.
Like, I just think he's a guy.
Yeah. He, at least in his like, even on the social media one, he did it in like designer sunglasses, it looked like, and it's like, you come off as a little bit like a light MJF, like, and I mean like, light as in less weight, not skin tone, because MJF, Jesus Christ.
Got that Hogan 97 tan, brother.
But yeah, like, he's just an arrogant guy who, like, may or not be rich or whatever it is. Like, and he's a good looking guy and he's got a good build and he's a perfectly capable, he's a good wrestler. I've seen him wrestle matches. He's good, but I've never, you can't say he hasn't been given opportunity to showcase and try and steal the spotlight, and I just never seen him really do it.
Yeah. I'm
not super exposed to him. I never really saw him on the indies and stuff, but like I watched him a little bit in Impact, and where he was tag champs with Josh Alexander, and Alexander came out of the star on that one. Mm-hmm. Karate Man is something. And then in AEW, he was given a bunch of opportunities. I know maybe he wasn't happy with them or didn't feel he was given those opportunities, but like they repackaged him at least a couple times.
They did.
Men of the Year. Wasn't he with Lambert too? Wasn't he with Dan Lambert Group? Mm-hmm. Which is tough. I know that it's all tough, but like if you're one of these amazing hires that everyone's like, oh my god, in NXT wasn't he in AEW? Like, yeah. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm not having a hard time letting these guys walk. Even though there's probably a little more backstory to Ethan Page as opposed to like Jake Hager, but like they're very similar because Hager's contract ran up. Mark Henry's Arn said he was going. Like, I'm not heartbroken about these guys.
No, me neither.
If NXT wants to pick up those cast-offs, let them. Mm-hmm. I hope Ethan does great. I hope he's NXT champion. I hope he goes to the main roster and becomes fucking world champion.
Sure.
Right? I just don't see it happening. I don't see it as a get for NXT. I think NXT and Hunter and WWE as a whole is like loves to do these like spite hires a little bit. Like, well, we'll make a star out of him and we'll prove that you couldn't. And it's like, okay, then do it.
Yeah,
I'd love you to do it because right now, who you playing with? Cody's exactly the AEW packaging. Jade's exactly the AEW packaging.
Jade's opening pre-shows,
right? Like Jade is, you've already shown that Jade needs to be hidden in a tag team.
Yep.
Right. And then she's this giant star that you don't push through Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing there. And then everybody, who else you got? Who else you take from AEW is this big get, right? Who had all these video packages. Fucking Lexus King. Listen to Ad Odds for that. But they're already letting him do fucking indie dates. Yeah. Because they don't give a shit. So, like, I hope he does well. Out of everybody that he's brought in, like, obviously I like Jade, Cody's, whatever. But, like, if Ethan Page does great, that's awesome, man.
Sure.
Good for him. And I hope he can impress the shit out of me. But I don't see it. And I don't see the internet reaction that was there. I was like, okay, these are just WWE brain people being like, we got another one from shitty AEW. And it's like, did you, though?
It's just bad faith arguments.
Yeah,
and that's why I put zero stock in any
it's just wild. So...
yeah,
but
great.
And they need video packages to know who they are. So
sure,
but whatever. NXT is basically unwatchable unless you're Adam. So
that's true.
Go to Ad Odds and listen to that. They'll talk about at least part of it there.
Mm-hmm.
What else? That it? That's everything.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
So AEW, they had a big weekend.
Huge weekend.
So Collision, I don't have anything in notes.
All right.
I know we watched it a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I didn't watch no Rampage because I'm not a fool, but I'm gonna watch this week because I'm not a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they the pizza crust, huh? I watched Collision. I was watching it before the pay-per-view to get caught up, and you came over towards the end of it. So it opens up with a Mox promo. And then he's like, they follow him through the backstage, through the crowd, which I like. They changed Mox's entrance a bit. Like, he just doesn't appear. They actually follow him, almost Goldberg-esque, but it's like through the back, through the crowd. That's when Callis comes up and says him and Mox should team up and that Mox should call off the Takeshita match.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, just call it off. He goes, join the family and call this match off. You don't have to, Takeshita doesn't have to get put through this. You don't have to get put through this. Like, don't lose to my guy. Join the family. We'll work so much better together. Takeshita hits him from behind, lays him out, Pillmanizes his arm, Mox's arm, and then the rest of the Combat Club's too late to save, but spoiler alert, doesn't fucking matter.
Sure doesn't.
We get Tanahashi randomly inserted in a match.
Good for Tana.
So this was super weird. Garcia and Claudio come out, And they're like, we have a mystery third partner.
Okay.
It was
Tanahashi.
But then Archer and the Righteous come out. Ugh. And then Tanahashi comes out by himself after everybody's already out. I like Dutch. Dutch briefly wrestles Tanahashi in this match, and me and Ed are in the Dutch fan club.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so that was fun.
That makes 2 of 2.
That was hilarious. So that's the thing. We get a Young Bucks hype package all about how great they are. We get a fun little Lucha Brothers versus Ass Boys tag, which is the one for if the titles are on the line or not.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was really fun. They have a lot of good choreographed tag spots, and they do a lot of things. I like the Ass Boys. Lucha Brothers win, and then Pac comes out to celebrate and is happy, and I'm like, what is happening? That was weird.
I mean, it's never happy.
Yeah. We get a tease, and this is important for the pay-per-view. Jeribill. We get a Jeribill promo. That's Jericho and Big Bill.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck is that?
And Brian Keith interrupts.
Oh.
And he's makes it seem like he's coming for Jericho. He's like, you're not going to get away from me that easy because of that match. I'm still coming for you.
The bounty hunter who collects bounties.
Yes, sure he does. KM wrestles, that job guy.
Oh, yeah, he's an agent backstage.
Is he?
Yeah, it's
cool.
Kevin Matthews.
Cool Kyle squashes him.
Okay.
We get a Trent promo where he's going to end OC, calls him a con man, and then Rocky interrupts and says, let's get the family back together. Why are you being so foolish? And he says, that's not going to happen, and don't interrupt me ever again. Buddy and Brody King versus the Gates of Agony versus the Infantry versus the Acclaimed. Nothing happened in this match except
too many people.
Brody King does a suicide dive onto everyone else in the match, and they all fall over, and that's awesome because the crowd then starts barking. Brody King, of course, wildly over.
Sure is.
Wildly over.
Makes me a happy boy.
We get the Edge promo that I misunderstood. He was just putting hypotheticals out there about him leading the House of Black if he wins and him bending the knee if he loses. All hypothetical for the tease that happens, which we'll talk about. Mm-hmm. Toni Storm, who is arguably the MVP of this company in a lot of ways. She's definitely the MVP of the women's division.
Sure.
This is the promo where she's talking about Deeb, and she says about Serena Deeb, Serena Deeb is a woman who thought twitching on the floor was a sign from God to continue wrestling.
God bless you, Toni Storm.
Insanely brutal.
You're the best.
Takedown.
You're the best ever.
Fucking awesome.
Damn, she's the best.
Incredible. Mariah May kills Layla Hirsch with a knee after rubbing her boobs in her face. Christian cuts a promo at the Wayne Wrestling School. And we get contender for Joe Sposto's match of the year as the main event of Collision.
Oh, yes.
Dragon and FTR versus Jarrett Junction.
Yeah, because it starts out with Double J doing some steamboat arm drags and then a Japanese arm drag on Danielson. Then he gets up and hits the Fargo strut. Yep. That was fun.
It was. And then some great Satnam Singh stuff, making him look like a bajillion dollars.
A bajillion D, eh?
$1 in $1 billion. $1 in $1 bazillion.
Yeah. Yeah, that leads to...
That's the end of Collision. It wasn't a bad Collision, honestly.
It was okay from what I saw.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. The Collision from last week was fucking rough.
Yeah, it was terrible.
So this one was a little bit better. And they did enough stuff to lead into the pay-per-view.
Speaking of the pay-per-view.
Yes, pay-per-view. I don't have any notes on the pay-per-view. So this was
Sunday. Double or Nothing 2024.
Sunday before Memorial
Celebrating
Day.
the 5-year anniversary of AEW.
Yeah, 5 years, a long time. 5 years of this podcast. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. We didn't start till the regular TV started.
That is true.
We're close.
So, AEW International title match, Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong.
Yes.
This starts the pay-per-view. Starts the pay-per-view off right.
Whew.
This match fucking
super hot.
Is so goddamn good.
So good.
Ospreay wins.
This match might be the peak of this pay-per-view.
Sadly. I don't think it is.
No? Okay.
But it set like a tone where I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yes. It was incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was like a great opener to really kickstart your pay-per-view. You always want that hot start, and I think I gave it to it.
Right. What a wild waste of a run Roddy had with that title.
Yeah, he didn't do anything with it.
Nothing to do with it. They just couldn't figure it out. Couldn't get it running. Couldn't get it going without Cole.
Yeah. There was the one scary spot in the match where Taven went to do like the dive over the top for the Doomsday device.
Yes.
And Ospreay, I don't know if he flipped too early or Taven, he got caught up on the rope. It just... shit looked fucked up and it looked like Ospreay landed on his head, and I was like, oh man, this isn't good.
Yes.
But he's okay.
Yeah, all good.
I liked when Callis was trying to get Ospreay to use the Tiger Driver, and he's like, he has a snap neck anyway. Who cares? He can't break his neck anymore.
Right.
That was really funny.
Yes.
But Ospreay won, and Ospreay fucking rules.
Yeah, he's champ.
Yeah.
What title is it? International title?
Yes. So that Bill Ospreay is pretty fucking good.
Wilbur Ospreay.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And he has said like it was the presser or wherever, but that he intends on taking it around the world, making it a true international title.
Which I wonder how much Tony Khan's going to love that.
Yeah,
especially after what happened to Eddie Kingston.
Well,
it's true.
That's something we talked about. We didn't know last week, but they sort of revealed that it's a year.
He's going to be out for a year.
It's a year,
which sucks.
Yeah,
because there's one of your big names for Wembley. No,
absolutely.
Can't do it.
That injury bug is tough.
Yeah, speaking of the injury bug, Adam Cole comes walking out.
Sure does.
And this is where we get the return of MJF.
Right. And they've said, I think, since this pay-per-view that Cole isn't even near coming back.
No, absolutely not.
They wanted to get this out there to sort of end it so that Max can move on and not everybody's still like, well, what about Adam Cole?
Yeah.
He says he's not nowhere near close getting back in that ring.
No, I don't even know how close MJF is getting back.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But MJF comes out. And listen, he was wearing the fucking Quadruple H return gear.
Yep.
If you know what Quadruple H is, you know what gear this is.
It's true.
And this room was fired up. We were all fired up. Everybody in this house was
the most excited I've ever been for MJF, easily.
Yeah. He comes out, he kicks Adam Cole in the dick.
Yep.
Hits a sick-looking brain buster on him. Adam Cole gets rolled out of the ring. And then MJF goes on to cut like a fucking 8-minute promo. And
it felt like 28
sucked.
minutes. Yep. It sucked.
It was just too long and just meandering shit. Talking about like no more funny haha, but then he tries being funny haha.
No more kangaroo kicks, no more bullshit. I'm the wolf of wrestling.
He reveals his AEW tattoo.
He's a wild shade of tan for his fake tanner.
Everybody says he went to Turkey to go get those hair plugs.
Yep.
It's just, it was so funny how the room shifted from fuck yeah, MJF, like this is really cool. This is good. He's leaning into it. He's like, hey, remember when Triple H came back and he was on all the chicken and rice? Well, I am too, brother. Yeah. And then it just goes on this shitty long promo. Like,
it's the same problem he has. He does not have, he can't self-edit. He can't stop himself.
No.
I don't know if it affects the show, which is a very long pay-per-view. Which is a heated topic, but I would have put this on TV. Have him come back and do that to Adam Cole and say, like, no more bullshit. I'm here. Look at my tattoo. And then be like, I'll see you on Wednesday in L.A. or wherever the hell they were.
I think it was Adams the one who said all he had to do was kick him in the dick, hit him with a brain buster, hit your catchphrase, out.
Right.
It's all it had to be.
They'd get people to watch on Wednesday.
Yeah. It did not have to be this long.
Nope. He overstayed his welcome again. He, like you said, like using the room as sort of a barometer for what he did. Super hot, and then just all the life sucked right out of it.
Yeah,
right out of it. It's insane to me how poorly of a job he did.
Yeah, agreed.
And the weirdest thing too, like, have you missed him?
So
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not. His matches have been really good.
There is absolutely a place for MJF.
Absolutely, yes,
in AEW
for sure,
no doubt.
Yep.
I didn't like, the stuff with Cole at the end. It really jumped the shark. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew the fucking reveal. Like, it was so telegraphed. It's just nobody gave a shit when it happened. I mean, he's been gone for 5 months now.
Yeah.
He could be on the product, but he's got to be that, like, 1-for-4 MJF guy, like, more often than just 1-for-4. Mm-hmm. He's got to be, like, 3-for-4 out of good promos and stuff. Because, again, like, that stuff with Cole was so fucking funny when it began. It was awesome. And then it jumped the shark.
It fizzled out.
And it got bad. And, like, MJF knew it got bad.
Yeah.
You go back and read that Players Tribune thing at the end of last year, and he was just kind of like, yeah, like, I get it. There's fatigue of me, and this isn't good. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's the first time, like, him really taking criticism.
Right. And
don't know if he took it the best, but it was just like, no, the shit I was doing was sucked. It wasn't good.
You know, he was given a lot really fast, right? You know, they showed like the video of whenever it was of him, and he gets the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it's great. And, you know, good for him. Like, he's done a ton. But, like, he's very young and to be getting all this accolades and all this praise and awards this early. And, you know, I don't know that I've ever missed him. There's absolutely a spot for him. I'm not saying he's bad. You know, MJF is one of those guys for me that when I see him, I'm like, all right. But then when he wrestles, I'm like, oh, yeah, he's actually really fucking good at this.
Absolutely.
You know, he's had some of the best matches. Him Dragon was fucking awesome.
It's one of my favorite matches
him
from
Punk,
last year.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of really awesome stuff.
Yep.
But I need to be constantly reminded when he wrestles. Like, when he wrestles, it's always a surprise to me because when he talks, I'm like, okay, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. And the same thing, like you said, 1 out of 4. And like sometimes that 1 out of 4 comes from a quarter of every segment being good, and that equals a 1. And I think that's what happened with this pay-per-view. Like, this started off hot, coming out in the Triple H gear, and then it just fizzled. And that's what he does. Yeah. And I don't know if it was like, go out there and spend this much time, or, cause like he also like there was a natural end to this promo, and then he like stopped himself and he's like, I'm gonna bet on myself. And I was just like, no, walk away. You'll have plenty of TV time, dude.
Yeah.
You have plenty of TV time.
This promo could have been done on,
you know, especially, that was disgusting. That's really gross. Spit all over everything.
You fucking mess.
I'm a savage. But especially with the injuries the injury bug getting bit again, because we'll talk about the one from the pay-per-view in a little bit, but Eddie's out. Kenny's still going to be out for a while.
So it is nice to have him. It's a good plug.
It is a good plug for him to be back. It's good timing. I hope he's ready because in a way the company does need him.
Sure.
And the company has changed enough since he's been gone that there's some new interesting matchups that you can give Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just one of those guys where I'm always like, when he's done talking, I'm like, I don't think I need to see this guy. And then he wrestles, I'm like, oh shit, he's real good. But that's what it is.
Yeah. Trios titles.
Yes.
Bang Bang Gang beats Death Triangle. It's fine. Most important thing, Juice is back.
That's might be the most important thing on this entire pay-per-view.
Juice Robinson makes his return.
Yep. I screamed.
Thank God.
I think I scared Marcus when I screamed for Juice.
Yeah. Yep.
I love that man. It does not look like he's ready to be back in ring.
Nope.
But at least he can be back with them.
Yeah.
Maybe he just does like a managerial kind of thing for a little while.
I'm totally fine with that.
Me too. Let him cut promos.
Yeah.
Because listen, everybody's still ragging on Jay White about that one from last week, and with who the hell writes this? Ain't nobody saying that to Juice Robinson.
It's Juice, baby. The juice is loose.
So somebody reposted when I saw it after he came back with the promo where he's like, I get my 8 hours. Do you see bags under these eyes?
He's the best.
So he's fucking awesome. Let's get Yoshihashi on Forbidden Door so that he can yell at Juice Robinson can yell at him and kick his ass back to Lawson's.
With his dumb face.
I will fucking kill you.
It's still one of my favorite promos ever.
Amazing.
Oh, it's so perfect.
Dumb face. But yeah, so happy that Juice is back.
Yeah. And
also good for, him and Tony to be on the road together.
Yeah, but this could have been a TV program.
Absolutely.
Did not need to be on pay-per-view. This was the shortest match on the show, and it was 12 minutes and 11 seconds.
That's crazy. That's the shortest
match.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I like these guys, so I like this spot, and I like Jay White getting a spotlight. But yeah, I think you could have. What I would have rather have done was run this on TV and run Jay White versus Pac on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but we talk about like there's no stakes in that. Like,
that's true. Yeah, but there doesn't need to be. I mean,
AEW's built around
they are. But we were talking about how the pay-per-view was all title matches, and that would be a good non-title thing.
Yeah, I mean, there is a non-title match on the show that means absolutely nothing.
Right, absolutely.
So we will get to that later. Tony Storm, Serena Deeb.
Yep.
Tony wins. I thought this sucked.
Yeah.
It's just
Tony's fine.
And I think Joe maybe pointed out, like, some people just don't have chemistry.
Right.
These two didn't have chemistry.
Have we seen deep chemistry with anybody?
That one Deeb Riho match. I will always go back to that.
That Rio match was
fucking
good.
rock.
Which is funny because Rio is the same way. She doesn't have like too many fucking bangers.
But this was this was not.
Toni Storm's fine. I don't think it's her fault. Deeb has a really hard time connecting with an audience, both in person and through TV.
Best part of this, most intriguing part of the match was when Mariah May was going to throw the towel in, and Luther stopped her.
Yeah, and then Luther gets caught, and
Tony yells at Luther.
Yeah.
OC Trent Beretta. OC wins. This means nothing.
This is one of those. You ever see that meme that was like, "This meeting could have been an email"?
Yeah,
that's what this is.
This could have been a television.
This sadly, and I love Orange Cassidy. I'm not trying to shade him at all. This is a Rampage main event.
Yeah, there's just nothing to it.
It's Trent makes it a Rampage main event. I'm sorry, I like Trent too, but like they have not found anything to do with Orange Cassidy since he lost to Mox.
Yeah,
and it shows.
Yeah,
this ain't it.
This was just not it. Jericho beat Hook and Shibata, which again,
I wouldn't even put this on TV.
This was probably the worst match on the pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Nothing.
Like, we're in the middle of this pay-per-view, and this is 4 matches, 3. Whatever it is.
Well, this is the fourth match in a row where I go,
Oh, yeah. 4th match in a row where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's not good. Especially
not for a pay-per-view.
Sort of the anthem of AEW leading into pay-per-views. We all say it. We talk about it. People online say it's like, well, TV might not be great, but at least the pay-per-views always fucking rip. Not the middle of this one. This is 4 matches where it's like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. And then, honestly.
4 segments because of the MJF thing.
Honestly, a 5th match in a row. Mox Takeshita.
Right.
Match was okay.
This is probably my least favorite match on this card, and I'm mad at it. I'm still pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it goes 17
I get angry.
minutes.
Right, so that's the thing. Every match on this show should have been 2 to 5 minutes cut.
Yeah,
a hard line 2 to 5 minutes should have been cut. There's no problem with giving me a solid 8-minute match. Just make it good. People can do it. I've seen it done. I've seen it done in AEW.
Especially with this, though, because it's an IWGP World Heavyweight title eliminator.
Right.
It means nothing if Mox loses.
Right.
And Mox don't lose. And Mox is coming in banged up with getting the arm pillmanized or whatever. Right. And it just makes Takeshita fucking lame.
We talked about this last week about the Callis family being job guys, no threat. Like, you lose your threatening ability if you don't win any matches. Takeshita has that article. There's a spotlight on him. They jump Mox and hurt his arm. And you're like, okay, well, here's a reason for Mox to lose.
Yeah.
In storyline, they can say, well, yeah, Mox lost, but he was hurt.
Yeah.
That worked. The heel strategy worked. And then the rematch, because this is an eliminator, is when Mox isn't hurt and he beats the shit out of Takeshita.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be awesome. Takeshita's going to win. He's going to get a bit of a rub. He's going to look good. And I don't know who Kibosh did, who called it out. So New Japan, Tony, Mox, I don't know. Probably a combination of the 3. But Mox, and I'm legitimately mad about this. I've been thinking about it all week. And I hate being mad at Moxley because I love him. But, like, he starts this match not moving his arm. He had his arm completely bandaged up, and he was holding it down in front of him and, like, not using it to work. He was throwing punches without using it. He was trying to do moves. And then, like, halfway through, and then Takeshi's targeting the arm the whole time. And then halfway through the match, his arm gets unbandaged, and he just starts whooping on him. And, like, he's selling the arm, but, like, not like he did when he started the match. I'm like, your hurt arm doesn't get better as the match goes on.
No, it's not how that's supposed to go.
And, like, so, like, and I understand he's IWGP champion, and, like, I understand that they don't want him to lose, but, like, this is the opportunity to do it. And it's not like he's losing on TV for an IWGP title shot to Action Andretti.
Yeah.
He's losing to who they seem to want to position as a top guy in Takeshita, a guy who is loved, who does have the little bit of eyes on him this week. And, like, I don't fucking get it from anybody. And, like, this kills Takeshita. We said it last week on the show. If he doesn't win, it kills him dead. And, like, they just announced him versus Penta for the TNT title tournament, which we'll talk about. And I'm like, yeah, but who cares at this point? I love Takeshita, but a win over Penta doesn't do anything for me. Mm-hmm. You know, if he even beats Penta, who knows? Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't, like, you had this opportunity, and we always bitch about these eliminator matches because they're fucking stupid.
I agree.
Right? And I know, again, and also, we also talked about New Japan being, like, all the New Japan homers are like, he's disrespecting this title in America. He's not coming to Japan. They're giving anybody a title shot. Well, if that's obviously a storyline they're trying to build towards Forbidden Door and Mox getting challengers there and who's going to take the title and save New Japan from the American. And it's like, well, you can add to that storyline by saying he lost to Takeshita because he's being reckless with our fucking title.
Yep.
And continue that story. And they're not fucking doing it. And Tanahashi's there and he's president, so I don't know if he's calling that Iggy. I don't know. I don't know.
But just the match was pointless.
Well, that's the thing too.
There's no point for it at this
even if the match was 4 stars or better, which it wasn't.
No.
Which is another thing. Like these guys aren't having that great of a fucking match. What's going on? It's just like I'm just mad at the story you're telling here. Like you're telling the story, good for you, but it's a bad one.
It's not. Yeah, it's a bad story.
Don't work.
I agree.
And I was just like, okay, well, the Callis family, I would love to see their fucking record because they don't win fucking matches.
Yeah.
So this is probably my least favorite thing they did. Not the worst match, but my least favorite thing they did on this pay-per-view because, god damn it, I don't get it.
Yeah, it just makes no sense, dude. No sense at all.
And I get Mox doesn't lose, and Mox is fucking great. And in a lot of instances, he shouldn't. But if he's not going to lose, then you don't need to Pillmanize his arm.
Yeah, there's no need for it.
Because that's the other thing. If he's one-armed and Takeshita loses to him, Takeshita lost to a one-armed Mox.
It just makes Takeshita look.
What's he going to do?
It goes back to the pay-per-view. I forget which one it was last year.
They've done this 3 or 4 times.
Jay White, MJF. Yep. MJF gets fucking Pillmanized in an ambulance.
Yeah.
And then comes back and still beats Jay White.
Right. How good is Jay White then if he can't beat a half dead MJF? And it's like Takeshita can't challenge for any fucking title because he can't beat a one-armed guy. I don't care if you're the champion. It's a one-armed dude.
Yeah.
And he loses to him, you killed him dead. It's just what it is. Think about these things.
I'm with you.
Jesus Christ.
Next match, AEW TNT title, barbed wire steel cage match.
Yes.
Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black.
Yep.
I thought this was a joy. Mm-hmm. This was so much fun. Malachi Black bleeds buckets.
He does.
Copeland, he also bleeds. Not as many buckets, but he still bleeds.
I'm still on the Cope Express, the Cope train.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely the most... I've enjoyed him.
I loved this match. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
And it was stupid, like it's supposed to be. Yeah, the rules were dumb. The pin or submission only is a little stupid.
I hate that.
But it's fine. But it's not the best idea, but whatever.
You get the surprise of Gangrel.
Incredible.
Which was fucking awesome.
Mr. F and being.
Copeland comes out
Marcus was so happy. He was like hovering above the couch.
He was. Copeland comes out to... South of Heaven by Slayer,
awesome.
Which even Michelle goes, this might be the best wrestling thing I've ever seen.
Right, yep.
She's like, could they just do this all the time?
Yeah.
Cool as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, the big takeaway from this match, Copeland's on top, turnbuckle. He climbs to the top of the cage. Malachi Black's on the table. And he jumps off the top of the cage to do like an elbow drop, but he kind of half-asses it. And he lands on his feet.
So he talked about it.
Yeah, and he lands on his feet, and he does the elbow and puts Malachi through the table.
Yep.
Comes out. Well, he's on the outside at this point because the cage gets broken.
Yeah.
Brody and Buddy come out.
This was after that spot?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brody and Buddy come out, and they tease that they're going to turn on Malachi.
Yeah.
They pick Copeland up, and Brody fucking murders him with a lariat.
Made it look like they were going to switch. It was all. I was like, they're doing it. They're fucking switching because Malachi's going to leave. They worked people real good.
Oh yeah, it was a real good tease.
The internet's expected Malachi to go back to WWE, all that shit. It was a really good tease.
Yeah. They throw Copeland back in. That's where Gangrel comes up through the ring.
Wow, yeah.
Spits the mist. And everything.
Fucking loved that Gangrel.
Gangrel hitting the Impaler DDTs, looking great, looking amazing.
The knees aren't, but the Impaler's looking good. Those knees ain't
bending well, brother.
No.
But Copeland does win this match. I thought this was so much
his
fucking
legs
fun.
move like a Jack specific WWF toy.
Sure do. And then, it comes out on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Copeland put out a video that he broke his leg.
Right.
No shit.
Tibular fracture.
Yeah.
Tibia.
When he does the spot, I immediately said, who does he think he is? Fucking Macho Man at Havoc 97, where he did the big double axe off the top of the cage and blew his fucking knees out.
Right.
This is just a dumb thing.
And Copeland said, he goes, he got cocky, he got up there and he realized he made a mistake, but what do you do?
something different, man.
Like a splash would have been safer.
Yeah.
But I get it, man. He was in the moment. He's rocking and rolling. He's having a good fucking time. And it's a shame. He did a lot with a fucking broken leg after he did that spot.
Yeah.
The timing in my head didn't work out. Obviously, we watched it. But I'm like, yeah, you're saying this. I'm like, he did all that afterwards. That's fucking crazy. Just like Eddie.
I was just going to say, just like Eddie.
Eddie did a fucking ton. Yeah. Really crazy.
This leads to a...
and now the Tim Taylor question of the week.
I knew it was coming.
Well, fuck me.
I knew it was coming. Right. I was so excited.
The Tim Taylor question of the week.
Tim's 8.
Remember that time Edge jumped off the cage and broke his leg?
Sure do.
Where does that rank in the pantheon of stupid things done in wrestling?
I don't think it's that high.
I mean, I think it's stupid.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's real cool if it works. Right? Like, it's a cool spot if it works. Jumping off the top of the cage is always pretty cool.
Yeah, but not landing on your feet.
Right. But that's the thing.
Fucking
but
dumb.
that's what I'm saying. It becomes dumb when he lands wrong.
Yeah, like everybody, when it happened, we all went, oh, he's fucked.
As a 50-whatever-year-old man, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, you don't do that.
But I the pantheon of wrestling for dumb things, I don't know how high it is.
I mean, we're going to keep it like just in-ring stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Macho Man at 97 Havoc. Right. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah, right.
You're not supposed to jump off these gigantic structures and land on your feet.
Right.
You're going to get hurt.
You're going to get hurt. Right.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. The thing that I'll say that in AEW that I think is dumber, because like the impact of it is less like visually, is MJF jumping off the corner through the collapsed table.
That's a great point. That was also very dumb.
I think that's dumber because the impact is less, like the visual like payoff for the fans. Mm-hmm. You knew it was Max knew it was going to go poorly,
and he just did it anyway.
He did it anyway, and he was positioned in the card so fucking high up.
Yeah.
That he then out for 5 months.
It was super high risk.
Yeah, really stupid. Jumping through a table from there is fine. But when he watched the table collapse, he could have done something else and like popped the crowd about it. But just being like, well, fuck it, and then blowing your hip and your shoulder is real stupid.
Yeah.
But it's wrestling, so there's almost everything in wrestling is stupid.
Yeah.
I
think it's more so like the dangerous shit.
Yeah. Because like people get hurt without like in perfectly safe ways. Like the Sid freak accident with a freak should not be a dangerous thing in any way. Mm-hmm. But it's
a 300-pounder jumping off this middle rope, landing on one leg.
That's true.
But I remember like the whole Sammy Guevara Matt Hardy thing, like when Hardy was clearly concussed.
Oh yeah,
how
that's
fucking
real
stupid that was.
Yeah.
How stupid it was when Alex Reynolds got knocked out in the middle of that match, and like everybody just kept wrestling around him.
Right.
But I know what Tim's saying, like more so spots.
Yeah, like that was stupid, but it wasn't like a planned thing that somebody should have said this way. Hey, this wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean those are
out
all
there.
Pretty dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's wrestling. They're full of really dumb.
It's
dumb
just
ideas.
very like you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you know the risk that you're taking by jumping off a large structure and landing on your feet.
In the 5 years of AEW, it's a top 5 boneheaded move.
Yeah.
In the pantheon of wrestling, it don't crack the top 20. Just
I don't know, man. It's pretty fucking dumb. Like. Yeah. You know what's gonna happen,
right?
You've seen this happen,
yeah.
Like it's just,
I guess it's because like I get what because he's like I was just in the moment and I wasn't thinking. Whereas like what MJF did, or they're like MJF like took time and thought that out. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's pretty dumb. Match was fucking awesome, but it was pretty fucking dumb.
You know, there is like a risk to reward ratio to everything, and I think the reward ratio for this spot. Was probably higher than the chance of the risk. Because like if he didn't land on his feet, like this is a highlight that AEW uses for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
and now they don't.
I go back to.
I mean, they still could if they shot it from like behind.
The pay-per-view that you, me, and Joe were at when it was Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus in that cage match. Jungle Boy jumped off the top and did the elbow drop.
Cody
through the table.
Cody did do it the moonsault or whatever, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, you can do this shit. It's just that like. you're jumping that high and you're landing on your feet, you're gonna fucking get hurt. Like,
right.
We've seen it happen.
We sure have.
Again, match was seriously awesome.
Match was really good, though.
Now Edge, he's going to be out for a long time. It's
3-4
one who's going to miss Wembley.
Yep.
You know,
that's a reason to have MJF back. Is a big one
because Copeland's been killing it.
He's been great.
And now
he's been really great.
So
yeah.
Next up was Mercedes Moné going up against Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. Mercedes wins 18 minutes.
That is remarkably long.
Cope Malachi was 20 minutes.
Also remarkably long.
Yeah. I think you and I like this match.
I like this match
more than other people. But other people in the room also have a bias against Mercedes.
That's fine.
You know.
I don't think Sasha's the best wrestler, but I think she's perfectly capable.
I thought this was really good
wrestler. Yeah. Her finish looked like shit because we know it does.
It's a bad finish. It looks like shit all the time.
Right. She's hit it good on 2 people ever.
Yeah, you got to.
And one of them was this week. So, but I thought Willow with the big hair up looked good. Like
absolutely
big match feel for this being the triple main event.
Yeah.
This has been the build for a while. They said this week that Sasha's been ready since like January or something for real. Yeah. And they were holding it off.
Yeah.
The CEO dance is taking the world by storm.
Listen. She started it.
Yep.
I was the second person to ever do it in life.
You absolutely were.
Okay.
And now you got Ospreay and Shooter Umino.
That makes me real happy.
But
that's real funny.
And Shooter Umino saying sexy when he does is hilarious.
They called Ospreay a sexy bitch.
Yeah.
They make me very happy.
But I like this match. I think it was good. Is Sasha or Mercedes the her little video package about all the other women that she came before her was an odd one that's still confusing. Yeah. I get it. It was just confusing. She's not that level. She's not a Rosa Parks level groundbreaker.
Well, I mean, who the fuck is?
Right.
I mean,
it's just a weird video. But I thought the match was fine. As far as like 4 horsewomen go, I think she's better than Charlotte.
Yeah.
So
I think she's number 3.
Yeah, I think she came into it quicker than Becky, but Becky got better.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think it was a little more natural, like first for Mercedes, but then Becky just went blasting past them.
All the respect in the world to Miss Pam,
but Miss Pam never in question, never in doubt.
Yeah,
but yeah, I like the match. It
was good.
It was a lost cause in the winter. We knew that this is what they're doing with Sasha. They paid too much money, too much Monet. Money changes everything. But Willow looked good, and they are working a storyline out of it for Willow.
So here's the problem, and I think this is a problem with a lot of it. After the match, Chris and Stokely are kind of arguing with each other because Stokely's yelling at Willow for losing. Yep. Chris is walking Willow up the ramp and then slams her down onto the ramp and turns on her.
And that booty shakes.
And then they just cut. And if a lot of people go, well, that was rushed.
That's true.
You couldn't have just done that on TV.
They gave
it given it more time.
Yeah. It would have been a better moment on TV, especially this week after the Dynamite that we're going to fucking talk about. They could have had Willow come out to be like, listen, I just wanted to talk to everybody about losing the match. I know I really wanted to win this one and whatever. And then that's when they turned. Yeah. But whatever. I like that they're building a storyline out of it. At least
I do too, but
yeah, it should have been moved to TV. I agree.
A TV moment.
I agree, especially I don't know if at all. I would say how well, but I don't know if at all they adjusted to the overrun because at this point in the show, we were all looking at the clock, going, "How the fuck are they going to do 3 matches in under an hour?"
Sure.
And then we knew this overrun is happening, so you got to make some adjustments on the fly and cut some stuff, and they just didn't.
Yeah. So, next match for the AEW World Title: Swerve versus Christian.
Yes.
Swerve wins. This goes about 25 minutes.
Yeah. Insane amount of time for this match, which was good. But
match was good.
But didn't live up to the potential that I thought it could, and probably because it's too fucking long.
It's long.
I don't think there was enough to fit in there. And I don't know who it was in the Discord. It may have been Matt, maybe. Somebody said, you don't have to get all your shit in every time.
I agree with that.
And we all talked about it here, and then people in Discord talked about it. People who watched it later were like, here's another apron spot. Here's another pile
Oh my
driver.
God. The repeated
Here's
spots.
another this. Here's another that.
Yeah, the repeated spots on the
like,
show, it was too much.
Talk to each other. Figure shit out.
Yeah.
Figure out what you're doing. And it's tough when you're on a card with a guy like Ospreay who is going to do everything. Because, he just does. Like, he just wrestles fast-paced and gets his shit in.
But how many single leg grabs were
right.
there?
It's insane.
And apron spots.
And they're clearly either not talking to each other or they're not being agented.
There was 3 or 4 different matches that had a fisherman suplex.
Yeah. And so they're not listening or they're just not talking. And like, I don't understand, like, you have to figure this shit out backstage. Like, it's pretty base wrestling knowledge. You talk your shit out. And like, people are going to repeat spots, but there were a shit ton of repeated spots.
It was too
and it's because all the matches were too long. So everybody's like, well, what do we do next? What do we do next? And it's like, yeah, all of this is too fucking long. And again, this match was good. The 3 main event matches are good. There's good stuff on this. There's more good than there is bad on this card. But like, everything
I thought this
long.
was like the lesser of the 3 main event matches.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
This didn't live up to what I was hoping from Christian and Swerve.
No.
I was really high hoping for this because like the talk up to this has been really good. Like the promos, the Christian stuff. I thought everybody was like, what a great like opponent for Swerve, and it was fine. It wasn't bad at all. But this match is better if it's 16, 18 minutes.
Yes,
the 25 is tough.
Agreed.
It's tough. It's like it's tough when like. When it's a 5-star match, it's tough to watch a 25-minute. Or like when I'm watching wrestling for the week and I'm seeing on these regular shows and I'm like, okay, this match, like this match went 18. I don't know if I'm going to watch it. Like this is going to be tough. And I'm like, oh, this match went 13. Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a pay-per-view and, everybody can argue about the length and blah, blah, blah. And everybody does. We'll talk about it at the end. Main event though.
Yeah. Main event, Anarchy in the Arena.
Which is built to go long.
Of course.
We all knew this goes long.
Like expect this to go long.
Right.
The Elite against FTR, Bryan Danielson and Darby Allin. This goes a half hour. Mm-hmm. Which again, like you just said, it's built.
This one's built to go long.
So here's the thing with this match.
Yeah.
I mean, Elite wins, which was very,
It is what it is.
And I agree, like, a lot of people are going, like, what was this match for? There should have been some sort of stakes to it. Mm-hmm. But there's not. There's none.
Controlling of the company.
Yeah.
Tony Khan getting back. Something. Right?
So...
the Elite can't be ringside anymore. Something.
Like, the first part of this match, I'm thinking, like, I don't know. It just feels like there's not enough hatred into this.
Yeah.
Every other Anarchy in the Arena felt like, oh man, like these guys all want to kill each other. First part of the match, I'm going, this is like fun, goofy.
Do you know why there wasn't enough hatred in this match?
Because there's
no Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, sure.
If Eddie was in this, the emotional impact of this match gets ratcheted up because the build-up is going to be Eddie saying, like, I'm going to fucking bury you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to kill you pricks. And, like, Darby's great. And, like, Darby, incredible performance. All hurt and banged up.
Yeah.
But he's not a hateful dude. He's a, hey, watch this kind of, like, look at me kind of guy. Which is great. You needed Eddie there as the emotional, like, fuck you, Okada, for beating me for my belt.
Sure.
Fuck you, the Young Bucks, for our history. All that kind of shit. Fuck you, Jack Perry, for being pretty. Like, whatever.
Yeah. Like,
and then it's missing out.
Even where, I mean, the big spot is Jack Perry getting lit on fire.
Yeah.
And so it's so tough because some people are like, I wanted him fully engulfed.
I had a conversation this week at the comic shop about it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's not going to happen.
I agree.
But the problem was, so it happens, he gets put out, and then it's just like the crowd just goes, nah.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't sell it at all. He's fine afterwards.
Well, no, he sold it for a while.
Yeah, but
he didn't come back till the end of the match. So, but people getting put through tables.
Yeah.
They hang Darby upside down.
Yes.
Or Darby's wearing his fucking face mask with thumbtacks on it. The Bucks with their tacks on the shoe, which how many fucking times do we see that?
Yeah.
I know like some people said like this kind of felt like Looney Tunes a little bit.
Yeah.
I loved like Danielson in the beginning of the match is like, cut this shit off. We're going to listen to the best entrance music ever. And I did like the one Bucks like, this shit's cost me $200,000.
Yeah,
we got to cut this off, Like that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing that this match goes long like it does because of the spectacle, should have adjusted the rest of the card immediately, and it didn't.
And it didn't.
I will say about the fire. So I thought it was cool as shit.
I did too.
And when I got in the comic shop, I was talking with Dave, the proprietor, and he was like, he goes, you know something funny? He's like, I turned it on a little bit on Wednesday because he doesn't really watch AEW that much. And he's like, and Darby Allin came out with a flamethrower. And he's like, oh, that's dumb. They're not going to light anybody on fire. He's like, why come out with a flamethrower if you're not going to light anybody on fire? And then he's like, and then I didn't watch the pay-per-view, but I went online and they lit somebody on fire. That's awesome. Yeah. I was like, they sure did. And the thing that I love about it is the setup. They throw Jungle Jack into an ice bath.
Yeah.
There's just an ice bath backstage, which makes sense because recovery for wrestlers, it's big and trendy right now.
Yeah.
Because he has to be wet because they cover him in the flame gel, which makes you look wet.
Sure.
So it's super smart that somebody thought of it.
I agree.
It's a really, like, obviously when he comes out and he's like globbing, like dripping, like it doesn't look like water anymore, but it's fine. You still made the effort.
Sure.
And yeah, it was just his legs. It's still fucking fire, but there's pictures of it where it flamed up initially and it looks like he's engulfed.
Yeah, it looked
right?
good.
So I think that it's a very successful thing because you do have the stills where it looks much crazier than it is, unlike AEW, like that exploding match where it just fucking fizzled, which is still a hilarious, dumb thing.
Yeah.
Different kind of stupid though, Timsy. But
right. Yeah, different kind.
But I think it was really cool. I think this match was fun. Yeah, it's Looney Tunes, but it is because the Young Bucks are in it especially. I think these matches have always been successful for AEW. I think this was fun. Is it like the lesser of all of them? It's very possible, but it doesn't mean it's not fun.
No.
It's just not like Eddie Kingston trying to light someone on fire fun with gasoline.
Yeah, I mean, this was my favorite match on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because it was just something that went on fire,
right.
dude.
It was really fun.
You know,
I thought
bald FTR bleeding all over the place,
right,
you know.
I won the over-under bet on the blade, on the blood.
Yeah.
More
people should have run the razor.
I thought it was a ton of fun. Yes. But And I didn't even think of this, and you said it right at the beginning. It's a really good point. Like, why wasn't there stakes attached to this?
I don't know.
Especially after, like, the Eddie Kingston leaves, because you lose a part of that grudge match. Like, why weren't there stakes? That's super weird. There should, especially with the Bucks being EVPs, and, like, they're doing the thing on Dynamite, which we're going to talk about with CD. Like, you could have rolled that into this and put some stakes on it.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Especially if the Bucks were going to go over, just put stakes on it for there being stakes.
So this is from a couple of years ago. I remember when Corey Graves had his fucking WWE podcast.
Oh, they let that guy talk?
Yeah, and he was talking about Survivor Series and how he's going, what's the point?
Yeah.
He goes, there's no stakes. He goes, who cares? He goes, like, and this is like when Vince was like still in there. He goes, brand supremacy. He goes, what is that even supposed to mean? You know, because that's when it was Raw versus SmackDown.
Right. It's like just bragging rights.
Yeah, and he goes, and that's what he said. He goes, what does that matter? Like, who cares about that? You know, why not try to add something to it?
Right.
And he goes, it makes these matches pointless.
Right.
You know, and this isn't a pointless match. I'm not saying that, but it is kind of like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
You know, obviously Danielson wasn't on TV. Darby's still banged up. God bless. He's a fucking nutcase.
He is.
I do love when he jumped out of the crowd for the coffin drop right when the final
awesome.
count.
Yeah.
Great moment. Like FTR, they're not on TV.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking small, but like the Elite comes out on Dynamite, none of them are selling fucking anything. Going, come on.
Right.
Like, you know.
What if the stakes they put on it were the belts are on the line? That if the Elite loses, FTR are tag champs. And Okada, and with Eddie initially, Okada gives the Continental back to Eddie.
And it would give it, in this case, give it to Danielson or something.
Yeah. Could have done that. It leaves Jack and Darby twisted in the wind a little bit, but that's fine.
They're just there because whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it just, you know.
Yeah.
There should have been
stakes. Yeah, I agree. I didn't think of it, but it's absolutely, I'm like, oh yeah, that would have been better. But it was a really fun match.
Yeah, I thought it was the best match on the card.
That does bring us to a bit. So this card ends at 12:30.
Yeah, it's fucking late, man.
And that was the talk across the internet, our Discord, the regular internet, the irregular internet. I think no matter what way you cut it, it's too fucking long, right?
Yeah.
And AEW pay-per-views are already long, right? Running to midnight is already long for a pay-per-view for wrestling.
Yeah, their pay-per-views usually go about 4 hours.
Right. And, you know, WWE typically trained us for good or bad, 3 hours over by 11.
Yeah.
And it's a holiday weekend. You know, AEW sort of started running the 12 when they were running on Saturdays because they got Sunday open. This is a holiday weekend. But you're running that half hour over is tough. And, like, I don't care. I'm not, you know, and Tony always says, like, well, I want to make sure I'm giving you your money's worth and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, then give me my money's worth.
Yeah.
Because half this card, a little less than half this card, didn't give me my money's worth.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with how long, it had everything to do with how long the matches were, but in a bad way.
Yeah.
I think if you give me a 3-hour pay-per-view and every match on it is solid, I'm not like, where's my extra hour? And I think we say this all the time. But now you're giving me a 4.5-hour pay-per-view, 5.5 with the pre-show.
Yep.
And like people are in their seats for this. That's tough. People are at home. People are getting together. I know they're on the West Coast, so we were a little later for us here. And I joked that like everyone should run by East Coast standards because that's how God intended it. East Coast rules.
It's true.
But like midnight is fine. It's even a little long, but we're used to it. But like my bigger problem is if they ran to 12:30 and every match was a fucking banger,
I have no zero
and I was
issue.
like, holy shit, what a pay-per-view. Then I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like you gave me bangers, it ran over, but everything was worth it.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It went from like the MJF promo all the way up to the beginning of the Edge Malachi match.
Yeah.
It was a slog.
But I could pull easily 2 matches entirely off this card and put them on TV, or I could take every match except for maybe the Anarchy in the Arena because that has to be long and cut 5 minutes off of it.
Yeah.
And that's almost an hour of TV.
Yeah.
And none of those matches suffer from losing 5 minutes. I'm telling you,
they really don't.
Not a single match
agree
suffers
with you.
from losing 5 minutes. And then, so what were there, 11 matches in the whole thing or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Cut 5 minutes off of each and then cut 10 off of Max and you got your show an hour fucking shorter.
Yeah.
And everything is better for it. I genuinely feel that way. And again, I don't know see what you want. If everything rocked, and I was like, holy shit, 4-star matches across the board. And they've done that. They've had pay-per-views where I'm like, every single thing on this show kicked ass.
Sure.
If they did that, I'm like, no, we're cool. It's a holiday weekend. Who gives a shit? That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and Michelle pointed this out to me, they lost us at MJF.
Yeah.
And it took a long time for us to get back into it. And it even at some point looked like they weren't even fucking trying.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Willow that like we in the house even started to care.
The Edge match.
Oh.
It was Edge Malachi.
Edge was
Before that.
Oh, you're right. Edge, Edge was before that. You're right. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, because it was the last 4 matches were really
you're right.
good.
The last 4. I'm thinking that the Edge was after Willow, but no, that's triple main event.
Yeah.
The last 4 are really good. The last 4 I feel like a regular AEW pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Maybe the Swerve match is a little substandard for a title match.
You could have cut,
but you cut 5 minutes.
25 minutes long.
Right. Give me 18 to 20 and I can give a much better match.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a bit to get back. The Jericho stuff stinks.
Yeah.
Like, it's just bad TV, bad pay-per-view TV. So, like, and I'm not mad about it. I still don't think it was a bad pay-per-view.
Like, I forgot to even say during because again, it means nothing. During the Jericho match, like, Brian Keith comes out to help him.
Yeah.
Rips the hood off,
right.
and we're just go, okay.
And that's what everyone's like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is I don't think it's the worst pay-per-view. I think as far as I can remember, AEW-wise, it's probably their second worst pay-per-view.
Yeah, because, I don't know.
I still think it's a good pay-per-view, but they've had great pay-per-views. They had one stinker.
Yeah, I mean, look at their last pay-per-view, Dynasty was a fucking banger.
Right, it's an absolute banger.
And then, this is your follow-up, and you go, ugh.
What the hell was the stinker? I can't remember. I just remember
I think it was
stinking.
it might have been the one with MJF Jay White.
Probably.
Just because it was so long and it was all bullshit.
Yeah, and like the Wembley pay-per-view was super long.
Wembley, but
it fucking crushed.
So, like, our friend Mike, he made a good point. Like, maybe the Wembley show should be the one that's really long.
I agree.
And like this one should.
And they are treating this as their beginning, so it's like their anniversary show or whatever.
I understand,
but like 4 hours is already long enough.
Yeah,
it's fucking tough.
Yeah, and again, if you're giving me bangers, whatever, great. But like, you're not.
So. It was also for the first time too, and not that this matters, just pre-shows don't matter. But I think it's the first time that like none of us really paid attention to the pre-show either.
No, we
didn't. The pre-show, like, not that pre-show matches are ever like gangbusters, like you have to watch these.
Yeah, we just didn't.
But this one just wasn't that interesting. They pissed off the Deanna Rosa thing. That's over. I mean, thankfully, but like they threw that on the pre-show where I would have just put that on TV and bumped some of the other bump that down to the pre-show maybe.
I agree. But they don't want to put a title match on a pre-show.
Right.
You put Orange Trent on a pre-show.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
I would have put Jericho on the pre-show, but they'll never put Jericho on the pre-show.
God, no. Before we go to Dynamite, we have a question. Maybe a 2-part question.
Oh, we're doing this now.
If it's allowed.
Oh, no.
이제 이번 주에 에드 코디 질문입니다.
All right.
Sweet, sweet Ed.
Let me bring up this fucking menu here.
Two-part question.
Yes.
First part, Jack Perry getting set on fire was a big win for the Felicia. I agree, Ed. Which enemy of Phil would you want to see get set on fire next? Chris Jericho.
Is Chris Jericho an enemy of Phil?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that was my first thought, but then I was like, is he a true enemy of Phil?
Chris Jericho, and because he's also an enemy of MVP.
Ooh.
And I like MVP.
I like MVP.
And MVP and Phil are friends.
Yeah, so, I mean, everyone, Cole Cabana, Scotty Goldman can do whatever. I don't think he needs to be lit on fire.
No. Chris Jericho.
I would like to light a fire under Kenta's ass and try and get him back a little bit.
Here's the thing. I used to be pro Kenta, with all of his shit.
Yeah.
And then he turned down the Forbidden Door
Sure
match.
did.
And I go, all right.
Right. Right. My comment is still that he's an enemy of Phil. Not whether or not he's losing that feud or not.
Yeah, I just go, okay.
Yeah.
Done with you.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't want to lose. He would have to lose to Phil there. Yeah. So,
but Phil had a cool match with Kojima, so that was fun.
That's true. What other?
Elbow drop to the dick.
Can we list the enemies of Phil? Who in your mind are the?
I don't know. You want me to call Joe real quick?
True. Oh, that's a good one.
I don't want to light Joe on fire. Right.
Okay.
Joe could light some people on fire, but I don't want to light Joe on fire.
I can think of some other people that are enemies of Phil, but I'm going to leave that to myself.
You?
No, not me. I'm not an enemy of Phil.
That's right.
Me and Phil are neutral. That's fine. I don't like him. He won't like me. But we don't have a public beef. We don't, we're just going to avoid each other.
Yeah.
It's not, we just stay across the room from each other because we don't want to get into it. I just want to show him how to do a figure four the right way. That's all.
That's all.
But
yeah, Chris Jericho.
Is Low Key an enemy of Phil?
Nah, probably not.
Can I just light him on fire anyway?
Why would you want to light me on fire? Doug was an enemy of Loki.
Yeah, well.
That's a story that it'll be for Doug to tell.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll go Chris Jericho.
I'm fine with that.
Ed, who would you go with?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
I don't really know Phil's list of enemies.
I'm sure it's a mile.
Oh, well, I mean.
The Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks all the way, right. Like their stupid Reeboks on fire.
Yeah.
I like that they spent their entire AEW career coming out in fucking Nikes and then they get the Reebok
They got the
sponsorship.
Reebok deal. I would buy Reebok pumps. I ain't buying theirs.
Not theirs.
I don't know if the Lucha Bros come out with them. That'd be cool.
But just to be different than you, I'm going to say the balding Jackson because I hate him more than his other brother.
The balding Jackson's been making me laugh lately.
Oh.
At the end of Dynamite last week, him screaming no into the camera made me giggle.
Okay.
At the end of Anarchy in the Arena, him screaming "We won" made me giggle.
All right, well.
Light
him on fire.
Sure.
Light him on fire.
Second part of Ed's two-part question.
Also, Vince McMahon.
I don't think they're enemies anymore.
No?
Well, no. During the Ariel Helwani.
Yeah.
When he's like, yeah, I saw Vince. And then we gave him a hug in his gym. He said, I'll talk to you later, pal. And then that was the last time I talked to him.
Yeah.
And Ariel goes, why? And Phil goes, have you seen the news, Ariel?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, the second part of Ed's question.
Oh. Yeah, I got one for you.
Oh.
This is an enemy of everyone and an enemy of Phil.
Teddy Hart.
But Phil oh my God, the enemy of everyone for sure, but not who I was talking about. But an enemy of Phil that Phil may have exaggerated from stories about, but I'm still fine with them being enemies. Rob Feinstein.
Well, he should be lit on fire.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Enemy of everyone.
Yeah.
Light him on fire.
So Ed's second part. When you read this on the show, I'll be at Colossal Con Day 1. Mm-hmm. Which drink and which tasty snack should I get on Saturday, the day I'm choosing to drink very, very heavily? P.S. I can't do the mudslide one as I don't trust my tummy with ice cream and booze together.
Okay.
Ed, drink a Coca-Cola. Ed, drink a water.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
I can't suggest an alcoholic drink for you.
Here,
you do the alcoholic drink and I'll suggest the dessert.
Ed, here's how this works, buddy. Listen to my logic. And you're not going to listen to this till you're back from Colossal Con, so it's not going to matter. But there's a list of frozen drinks and there's a list of on the rocks drinks. Frozen drinks are going to be harder to drink. They're going to be drinking them slower. They're harder to consume. They're going to be tasty. I like a cold, tasty treat. I like a lot of these drinks.
Just get a watermelon Red Bull, dude.
But
have one for
these are good. The frozen ones are going to be harder to pound to get fucking wasted on. On the rocks drinks, you got to go for it, right? So I'm thinking, and I don't know what you like. Know what I mean? I'm a whiskey sour man. There's a whiskey sour one punch. but it's got a lot of shit in it that you don't need. That one has blue carousel in it, topped with Starry. There's a Tito's vodka, fresh squeezed lime juice, and Red Bull. Do that one. Get drunk and full of energy, Ed.
Oh, there you go.
Do your vodka Red Bulls. Red Bull Arise, Ed. That's what I'm saying. And top it off with a hunch punch and go to bed.
Perfect. For your dessert, I'm going to say the Pikachu brownie.
Ooh.
Because it's $5. Don't pay $13 for a fucking caramel apple. That's insane.
Why is white chocolate in everything? Every single one of these things has fucking white chocolate on it.
That is weird. Wow. Why does everything have white chocolate? White chocolate's, thanks.
Stinks.
Yeah, a Pikachu brownie, though, a decadent brownie on the inside, dipped in white chocolate and decorated to look like your favorite electric companion. I'd say go for that. Other than that, don't spend $13 on a caramel apple for the love of
$13?
God. That's crazy.
And you're going to break your teeth.
That's a candy apple.
Oh, you still get stuck.
Yeah, you'll get stuck.
They'll get stuck. They won't
candy
break.
Apple break
they'll
your
pull.
teeth.
And
we all know you have soft teeth.
That's true.
The brownie's the way to go for you. Okay?
Don't do the caramel. As a man who used to eat a lot of caramel apples because my mother-in-law worked at a chocolate shop and she used to bring home by the box when they didn't sell. We used to have a fridge full of caramel apples, and I would eat 4 of them a week.
That's wild.
Don't do those apples.
Yeah.
You're going to regret it. They are tasty. Go with the brownie.
But have fun, Ed.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe.
Yeah, I'll be watching Mantis versus Katsumata on Saturday for you. So
nice.
Is
that actually happening? Have they announced that that's happening?
No, it's not a first round matchup, but I pray to God it's a second rounder.
Is there a way? We don't know. We don't have the brackets.
No.
We don't know. Oh, that'd be awesome.
It needs to happen.
It would be.
So, all right. Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Please be safe.
Be safe. Love you, buddy.
Yes. All right. AEW Dynamite.
Oh, shit. We're not done with AEW yet.
No, we're fucking not.
All right, everybody. Precursor. This Dynamite fucking sucked. Until the end.
Mercedes Moné does her celebration. Sky Blue pops up on the Contron.
Yep.
And unveils that she's the one that attacked Mercedes all those months ago.
Sure did.
And she lays out Mercedes. And then we think, they're just going to have a match another time. And it's announced that they're going to have a match tonight. And then the match happens at 9 o'clock, literally an hour after this attack happens.
It was the entire catalyst for her and Willow. Other than the fact that she got hurt against Willow, the whole catalyst was that she thought it was Willow. And Willow kept saying, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. And Mercedes didn't believe her. And then it's revealed that it's Sky Blue. And I'm like, everyone likes Sky Blue. She's a popular lady. She's going to get her shot at Sasha. This is Sasha's next program leading up into Forbidden Door, whatever it could be.
Then she gets jobbed down 7 minutes.
And then they decide, we're going to burn it in an hour. We're going to burn Sky Blue in an hour.
It's literally an hour later.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Sky Blue isn't the queen of professional wrestling, but she's a popular act. And they just burn it in an hour? Mm-hmm. The mystery of who jumped her was an ongoing couple of weeks leading to the pay-per-view fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they just burn it in an hour on TV?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you going to do with Sasha next? It's bizarre. You're going to Vakur. They're going to lead into Vakur.
Because after the match, Steph Vakur comes out, who is the New Japan Strong Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Holds up her belt. So
such a better wrestler.
Those two are going to wrestle at
It'll be a good match.
They wrestled at that New Japan Strong show, and it was really good.
It's going to be a good match. Vakur's just better. Can I ask you a question about Sky Blue? Mm-hmm. Has she always used the Ace Crusher?
I don't know, dude.
Because that's what she was doing. She was doing the shoulder throw into the Ace Crusher. And I was like, when did she start doing that?
Oh, you mean the TKO?
The TKO, yeah. Sure.
I guess. I don't
remember her doing that.
I don't know.
I don't remember
her. She doesn't do that stupid fucking choke thing she was trying.
Oh, no, she definitely would. She used to do the rollover the code blue. Yeah, that was terrible.
No, that was okay. She was hitting that okay.
Oh, she did
a weird fucking dragon sleeper thing for a while, and it just wasn't good.
Okay. Well, she's using the TKO, which is fine. I just didn't know when she started. But yeah, they just burned her right out an hour into the fucking. It's so weird to me. Yeah. You had a storyline already built that. You layer these stories, and this is a good reveal, and you're like, now we're just going to burn this out on a Dynamite for 500,000 people.
This could have been done on the Collision taping that they're doing tonight.
Yeah,
and had it be on Collision. Didn't need to burn this out.
You could have drug it out for a couple more weeks because you're gonna fly in Vakur every week leading into Forbidden Door. I don't think you need to. I don't think you're going to.
Maybe they will.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This was just...
I think you have to get Vakur a couple matches on
Vakur's
TV.
going to wrestle on... I'd imagine Vakur is going to wrestle on Collision this week.
I hope so.
I would think so. Because they taped Rampage last night.
Yeah. When's... Oh, shit. When's Forbidden Door?
June 30th.
So we get the Allentown Collision, like... That's like it's like the almost go-home show for Forbidden Door. It's the 20th.
Yeah, there's going to be another one after that.
Yeah, there's going to be a Dynamite and another Collision.
Yeah.
But, like, that's pretty close. Like, we got potential to see some crazy shit.
I'd be happy.
Yeah. Flying some Japanese talents into the bustling metropolis of Allentown.
The beautiful Lehigh Valley.
Some CML. Oh, if we see Hechicero.
Okay, if we see Hechicero, lose my fucking mind.
Yeah. AEW, get some Hechicero t-shirts to sell at your merch booth.
That's not going to happen.
Just 2 of them in big guy sizes.
Yeah, just 2, please.
2 in big guy sizes.
If you're doing those pre-show meet and greets, Hechicero.
Yeah.
All right, non-title match.
Yes.
For a House of the Dragon match.
Dude, Killswitch fucking sucks, man. I don't.
Yeah, Swerve Killswitch. Like,
so here's an interesting thing.
It's just not great.
So I don't know why this happened.
Because it's the house.
Not this match.
Oh, I was going to say the House of the Dragon.
Yeah, no.
Luchasaurus.
I understand that.
Dinosaur, whatever the fuck.
Michelle was watching and paying attention and analyzing wrestling when this was happening, and she was like, "Why are they doing this? It makes the belt look bad." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Why is Swerve wrestling this guy that everybody knows is a nothing on your TV show?"
You could say that for almost every match.
And I said to her, like, that's a very common criticism.
Common thing, yeah.
And I said, like, it's because they have the House of the Dragon thing.
Sure.
And that's the reason why,
and that's
really.
What it is, yeah.
But she's like, well, should we really have? She's like, should you have the world champion wrestling matches like this all the time? And I was like, that's what people. It's a really interesting observation that she made because she doesn't watch wrestling regularly, Yeah. And I was like, because that is a split conversation. I said, Swerve wants to be a wrestling champion. He wrestles every week, and lots of people, good and bad, some with good opinions, some with bad, happen to say that that it does cheapen the champion and he shouldn't be having these nonsense matches. But on the other angle is Cody Rhodes wins the championship at WrestleMania. He doesn't have a match for 3 weeks. Like, what do you do? It's like it's this weird balance that I don't think either company strikes the right way. Like, not dead on. I prefer the way Swerve does it, wrestling every week. But it was just she was like watching and like actually like thinking about wrestling, and I was like, "What happened to you?" But I think it is a good question to ask for somebody who doesn't know wrestling, and she's like, "Why? What is he just wrestled on the pay-per-view, and he's now just coming to regular TV and wrestling this guy that even she knows is no fucking good."
Yeah.
So his Killswitch stinks, man.
Yeah, he's not good.
And they cut his hair at the end of the match, but it was clearly attached to his mask.
Oh, I know that was
clearly
that was bad.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad. TV time with Chris Jericho.
Oof.
This fucking segment sucks dick.
Yep. What did he say?
It's just not good, man.
Desperate for love, Chris Jericho.
Yep. I hate it. Brian Keith, I guess, officially joins his little squad.
Right. He's like, why wouldn't people want to be on this thing? And he's like 3 inches shorter than Jericho, which is tough.
Jericho was wearing his big lifts.
That's true.
His Paul Stanley lifts last night. And then Hook comes out.
Yeah.
But Hook gets cut off by Samoa Joe.
Right.
And he just kind of talks. He whispers in Hook's ear, and Hook turns around. And they walk to the back together.
Yeah. And then he says later, like, that Joe's sort of taking Hook under his wing and says, like, we exist on our time, not their time.
Which I love.
Don't give them what they don't deserve. And I like it.
I agree. Remember what? No, I would say you wouldn't remember this one. Taz was Samoa Joe's mentor in TNA. Nation of Violence, brother.
So there was a ton of production issues.
Yeah, a lot of their cues were all thrown off.
They
for
throw
video
a Stephanie Vaquer video, but it's like a disaster. So they go, they don't go,
right.
And then the commentator's like, "Are we still on?" And then they throw the wrong video, and then they fix it. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then
clean it up.
Yeah, you 5 years in, you fucking know better by now,
clean
right?
It up.
And then we get Mox, Rocky Romero.
Just
in a qualifier IWGP match.
Yeah.
I understand that you're not going to burn top guys against Mox, but you don't need to have Mox on this show.
No, you
know
really
what I mean?
didn't. No.
And like, you don't need him here, and you especially don't need him in what ended up being a kind of a competitive match against Rocky because Mox is like, well, my arm's hurt.
Yeah, and like Rocky gets the jump before the bell, and it just
and like why? What? Nobody who bought a ticket is like, man, I hope Rocky Romero wrestles tonight. And I don't dislike Rocky. I don't want to see him really wrestle necessarily anymore. But like he carries a lot of good grace because I like Roppongi so much.
Yeah.
Like Roppongi Vice a ton. And I like Black Tiger. But like I'm just like nobody is and I get you gotta have people on the show or whatever. But like wrestling for a title like this right now, I'm like, I don't understand this. I don't need this.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares?
I know like a lot of people were mad online because they're saying he was 1-10 in his last AEW 11 matches.
Okay,
they're going, what's the fucking point
Right?
of this?
Why does he get? Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I
just who fucking cares?
It's just one of those things where I just don't care.
Yeah, just dumb. And like that's with Mox. Like in this title, you should be making this title look a little better, and you're just not. But okay.
Yeah. Don Callis
has an offer.
Comes out to offer the contract to Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy rips the contract up.
Hey, Don. No.
Yeah. And then Statlander and Stokely come out.
Yeah.
And Statlander, I don't know, she like calls him an idiot. And she's like,
she's got evil makeup on.
Yeah. And then she says something about like my real best friend, though. Yeah. Like he'll take you up on the offer. Trent jumps OC.
Trent in a suit joins the family.
Bloodies him up. Him and Callis hug.
I like that they did the hug spot.
Yeah,
I thought that was set up nicely. Yeah, that was funny.
Good. Yeah.
And then I like that Taz said Callis should have headbutted him with that giant head.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So now Trent's with the Callis.
So, but is Stat and Stoke, they aren't?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No.
So it's just going to be Evil Stat. And I have no problem with Evil Stat.
Yeah.
I think it makes the division better. I think they need a better heel. And this will put her in matches again, because how long has it been since Stat worked?
Yeah.
And this will put her in matches against, because like, how many heels were there in the women's division right now? Sky Blue and Serena D, but Julia Hart's out hurt.
Serena D was not even a heel.
Right. So it's tough. So
yeah.
Good opponents and a good program for Willow to keep her around.
Yeah. And then backstage Stat and Stokely cut a promo.
Yeah.
And Stokely was really good. He's like, you get a sinus infection and you don't want to travel. And he goes,
most of these bitches get a sinus infection. They don't want to travel.
And I'm not even talking about the women yet.
Right.
Yeah. Stat cuts a good promo just saying how, she's the one who's supposed to pick everybody up and make everybody happy and get everybody's back.
She's sick of cleaning up messes.
That was a good promo. Stat's underrated.
Stat is underrated for sure.
I always like Chris Statlander. Yep. The Elite come out to the ring for their celebration.
Oh, we did get a Sasha versus Sky Blue match.
Well, yeah, we already talked about it.
Yeah.
We
talked about them burn it. But this is where she hits the finish, the second best she's ever done it. So.
Yeah. So they come out to the ring, the Elite.
Yes.
They celebrate their winnings.
Yes.
The crowd is yelling at the Elite, to which there was a response that did happen to the crowd.
Shut up, bitches!
Hilarious.
I fucking love you, Kazuchika Okada. You are the best thing to ever happen to professional wrestling.
The Young Bucks just need to teach him different swears.
He was so great.
Week.
The Bucks say that they bought him a new Lamborghini. They show it pulling up on the Contron.
Yeah.
And Okada's faking crying. He's like, this is a dream.
Yeah.
This is a dream. I can't believe it. I love you guys. And then he rips his hand away from his face. He's just like a straight face. It's like, oh, he's so perfect.
It's really great. Yeah.
They talk about Edge and vacating the TNT title. They said that they're going to put it on Jack Perry.
The belt to Jungle Jack.
Yeah.
Which I like as an idea. As a heel idea, I think it works. No?
Not for me.
Why?
Because
it brings real heat. They don't have any heat now in this program. You know what I mean? Like the
not for me, dog.
The Anarchy in the Arena, we were saying, like, had no stakes, so relatively ended up kind of heatless. And I think this adds a little bit of heat to it. We know Tony Khan likes a tournament, so we knew this is where it was going.
It was just a big tourney, and Chris Daniels makes his return, and announces there's going to be a tournament.
Yeah.
And then the Acclaimed come out to have Chris Daniels back.
Yeah, I would rather have them gift the title to Jack and have people chase him than have them just go like, well, we're going to do qualifiers for the next 4 weeks to see who gets a chance to be in the pay-per-view.
I have PTSD of Triple H getting the World Heavyweight title awarded to him back in 2002.
Sure.
Because then that's where the reign of terror started. So.
Right.
And I just don't like people just getting a gifted title.
Right, but it works for this heel group. I think it works, but to each his own.
I just look at it as like, okay, well, Tony Khan, you're still in charge. Why would you let that happen? which he didn't. So I go, okay.
Yeah.
Again, if you had stakes for the match.
Right.
And then, okay, like, hey, this is something that could come out of it, of them being in charge. And, you know, but there's Tony doing the veto on it, which I go, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Why would he say, like, oh, I'm just going to let them give him a title?
But by going by that logic, then anything the Young Bucks do that is a heel move, Tony gets to negate it.
But you could, but if it's just like a matchmaking, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but
like if they would, even if Tony was like, no, we're not going to just give you the title. You're going to have a match for the title. I'd go, okay, I'm fine with that.
That I would have been happier
instead
with.
of just being like, oh, here's a title,
right.
And then you go, well, then what's the point of Tony Khan here? You know, So,
but if he's back and in charge, he can stop them at any turn, and it sort of cuts them off at the knees. I don't know.
But the problem, they didn't do anything like egregious last night, other than trying to be like, "Hey, here's the title for Jack Perry."
I guess this is kind of the first show because Tony's back last week from bringing Darby, so he's back from injury.
Yeah, this is his first.
True. So I guess he's going forward. I think more the problem is that their storytelling's confusing. It's either confusing or not. Maybe not confusing, but not defined enough.
But, I mean, the story was, it's like they were running the show while Tony was gone.
Yeah.
Well, now Tony's back, and he's in charge.
Yeah.
So, there's your...
Yeah, I guess I didn't...
There's your hierarchy.
I didn't comprehend Tony being back because he wasn't on the show, because he said he's not going to be on camera anymore. But I guess he is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm back.
He's back.
He's the John Wick.
I guess so.
Of AEW.
And then main event is the Gauntlet match for the World Title #1 contendership for Forbidden Door. A Casino Gauntlet match. Goes 22 minutes. Mm-hmm. You have your Will Ospreays, Claudio, Hechicero, Switchblade, Leo Rush, Mystico, OC, Pac, and Shooter.
Yes.
And like,
Shooter.
Anytime somebody came out, I was like, holy shit, this got better.
Super stacked.
This match was fucking awesome.
And didn't they say it was going to be 21 people or whenever it ends?
Yeah. So they ran this. Remember they ran this like a month or so ago? And we were all just kind of, oh, this is dumb.
Yeah.
This worked.
Yep.
This worked because
it's all stars.
It was heavy hitters that kept coming
it's all stars.
Out, you know? This was awesome.
Yeah, it's not like all the stars are here, Norm Macdonald. It's an actual all the stars are here.
Like everybody that came out, they got their shit in.
Yep.
Everybody that came out got good reactions.
Hechicero making a fucking statement immediately.
Awesome again.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay gets the win.
Crazy.
Just kind of like...
I didn't expect that.
Wild.
Because like the loser, like it's an easy thing for Ospreay not to win because he doesn't have to eat a pin. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody could have, they could have pinned fucking Leo Rush and nobody would have batted an eye in this. But that was interesting because I was like, I mean, Ospreay's awesome. Ospreay ain't losing. But like if he didn't win this, you're not like, oh, I can't believe Ospreay lost the match. Yeah. Ospreay just didn't pin the guy. But I didn't expect Ospreay because he already has a belt.
I do wonder if for Forbidden Door they go the time limit. Him and Swerve.
Yeah.
Go full time limit.
30 minutes, you think? I don't think they'd do an hour. You think they'd do an hour?
No, probably not. But 30. It is a title match. Like a world title match. Yeah. So you could do an hour.
You could. I think you'd probably do 30.
That or else like they get jumped or something by somebody.
Yeah.
And then obviously it still could set them up for Wembley if you want to go that way. I don't think you have to go that way. It is kind of like shocking that they're doing this right after Ospreay won a title.
Yeah. So and kind of right after Swerve. Like Swerve hasn't had a long run yet either.
Yeah, it's
and we all, I think collectively, we all sort of thought like Ospreay's next up and it's going to be Wembley.
Yeah.
Which it still can be if they come to a draw. What if they did an Iron Man and they both get 2 falls, the same amount of falls in the time limit?
You always have sudden death.
Oh, that's true. I guess you run into a sudden death on that.
Yeah, it'll be kind of. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. I know a lot of people are like. They think it's too soon.
Yeah.
Which I kind of agree with.
It's too soon. If
the booking makes it too soon.
If Swerve loses the title, it's too soon.
Yeah.
But if they figure something else out, then that's fine. You could further the Callis Ospreay story by having Callis and his goons turn on Ospreay and cost Ospreay the match.
Is this a thing where Hangman comes back and like beats them both down during the title match?
You can get a... Ospreay gets beat up by the Callis family into a count out and finishes that. Like it's gonna have it has to be a fuck finish.
It sucks because it is like AEW was always like we're not doing the DQs.
Yes,
but
they are a useful
into like a back into
and they're a useful wrestling storytelling tool.
Doubt.
It's just when you overuse them for 30 years, people get sick of them.
Yeah,
and AEW hasn't overused them, but they also don't know how to get into them.
Yeah,
but like. Ospreay already has a title. Double champs cause so many fucking problems.
They do.
It's hard to book out of a double championship.
It sure is.
So you're going to unify those titles? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so. I wouldn't be terribly upset about it, but I
wouldn't be either.
But I don't think they do that.
I don't either.
I think they wrestle to a draw.
It's tough,
and it's at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you have two of your champions wrestle New Japan? I guess because then that sets up that both of your AEW guys are going to win because neither of them are losing to a New Japan guy. So that eliminates that.
Yeah, but then I don't know.
It's tough. It's weird booking. I don't think you had to get there right now. Especially because if you're going to Forbidden Door and you have Hechicero or Shooter or Mystico, like Swerve Mystico,
it'd be killer.
Right?
Swerve Hechicero would be
right.
awesome.
And I know that they're not these giant names,
but for Forbidden Door,
it fits the gimmick and Swerve's in it. So to be the main event and like Mystico's a fucking legend. Swerve Mystico, I think would tear it. Swerve Hechicero too. Yeah. But like Mystico carries that a little bit more prominence.
Sure.
Or even Shooter, who did challenge for the IWGP, had a good match against Mox.
Yeah.
Who's looked fucking great in this match. Him and Ospreay looked fucking incredible together.
Dude, I mean, their chemistry is insane.
It's just incredible. So, not just incredible, but just incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird choice.
You could have even had Claudio win it.
Right.
And do Claudio Swerve. Door.
But I'll wait to reserve judgment till what they do till what the finish is and whatever. Because they can go they got 4 weeks, they can go a bunch of different ways. Who knows?
And then Swerve Pack.
Right.
Like there's a lot of matches on the table.
Swerve, anybody in this, not you, Leo, could have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, like it really could have.
Yeah.
But now it's just kind of like...
And it's going to be a really good match, so I'm not going to be like, oh, you're giving me an awesome match.
But it's weird timing.
It's weird because I'm not ready for Swerve to lose this belt because I love Swerve. But also, how do you get Ospreay to lose in a believable way?
Yeah.
And the only reasonable way out of it is a draw.
It's a draw or a fuck finish where they both get laid out.
And there is an entire section of the wrestling world, community, fans, that feel a draw is a cop-out.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Yeah. I don't mind a draw. And it makes sense here. New Japan's pretty fucking famous for them in these situations. But yeah, I just don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. The match is going to rock.
It's going to be fucking outstanding, but it's just very...
That fucking picture, we didn't talk about this from the paper, but that picture of Swerve hitting the house call.
Oh, so great. Yeah.
I saw people online going like, oh, he's always real shitty when he hits that. I'm like, you guys don't know what fucking wrestling is.
Bitching to bitch.
Yes.
So. All right, well, that was AEW.
Sure was.
All of the United States.
That's everything the United States has to fucking offer.
So now we're going to hear from Mr. Terry Funk and his guest.
I'm going to say that At Odds with Wrestling does not have the lockdown on Cactus Jack promos.
Oh, okay.
Things are heating up on the Power Hour. The grill is getting hot. Now let's go to Terry Funk and Funk's Grill.
Howdy, you simple-minded partners. Welcome once again to Funk's Grill. And speaking of simple-minded partners, I've got one of your compadres as a special guest today. Somebody new in the NWA. I'm talking about Cactus Jack. Come on in here, Cactus Jack. My, are you ever a big Henri-looking booger?
Terry, I feel good because I'm in the NWA and I've got my priorities in order.
Well, you know, speaking of your priorities, what are your priorities? You're talking about your priorities. I hope to goodness that they aren't my doggone priorities, too, looking like you.
Well, Terry, a lot of people come into the world of wrestling with their priorities. They're a little bit clouded. But Cactus Jack, he has no room for fancy cars in his life. He has no room for women. Because I'm a man, Terry, straight up. I'd rather hurt a man than love a woman. And that's why I'm in the NWA.
You know, what about, you say you don't like cars or anything like that. You know, how about money? You like money, I'll bet.
On a list from a spectrum from here to here, money's not really that high on Cactus Jack's priority list. No.
Well, you know, you might be just the type of fella I've been looking for on the Double Cross. You know, I've been looking for a foreman of the Double Cross Ranch, somebody to work out there with me, you know, that isn't too concerned about money.
A job offer?
It might be, depends on if you like steak or beans. Which do you prefer?
Hey, I'm a bean man. Every cowboy in this country was raised on ham and beans.
Well, if you were raised in a land of enchantment, old New Mexico, well, you certainly know about beans. I'll bet you know about onions, too, don't you?
Onions, Terry, not exactly, but they tend to taste a little bit like owl.
Well, I guess you don't like onions.
No. I like owl.
You like owl, huh? You know, you certainly had some problems with your partners. You have. You just can't find a partner that is compatible with you.
It's a problem. It's a problem, and I'll tell you why. Because my reputation, Cactus Jack comes in here with a reputation that stretches for hundreds of miles in the wrestling world. So I come into the NWA, the top of the heap, and I'm given a selection of partners that couldn't shine my shoes, and they tell me they're good. Who am I? It's a trusting world, I think. To make it function, it's a trusting world, so I trust them when it turns out not to be. Terry Funk, if you don't tell Cactus Jack the truth, you may end up suffering the consequences.
You know, I'm going to tell you the truth now, Cactus Jack. It might be because you're nuts and they're sane. You ever think of that?
No. There's reasons out there, but I don't think that's one of them.
You know, you were talking about the truth. Speaking of the truth, we've got to go now. So, hoochie coochie, so buenas noches, and so long, everybody.
And we're back.
We are certainly back, but now we're in Japan.
I'm just gonna say this here. Takes Mick a little bit. Just a couple of years to figure out the promo.
Yeah, it does.
It's not bad. I like some of the lines.
It's just different.
Very famously, the I'd rather beat a man than love a woman or whatever is a very famous line. But a little awkward for the young,
little weird,
the young Cactus Jack Foley here.
Little weird. All right, we are in Japan.
But we're in Japan, so it doesn't matter.
I have matches from 4 different promotions.
I got 3.
Okay,
no 3.
So
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so
3.
I guess we'll go DDT first.
DDT.
So
DDT.
They ran their King of DDT finals.
They did.
I only watched one of the semifinal matches from it. Mao versus Katsuzata Higuchi.
The only one that I expected to watch was this. Yes.
Yeah, because this is only 11 minutes, and it shows how much you can get accomplished in 11 minutes.
And these are like 2 of my favorite guys in DDT, if not my 2 favorite guys.
And it shows you, the David versus Goliath.
Yep.
And Mao fucking beats Higuchi.
Sure does.
To go to the King of DDT finals. I thought this was awesome.
It takes a lot to chop Higuchi down.
Yeah.
Because Mao is the smaller guy. But Mao does it. And like you said, it shows what you can get done in 11 minutes. And partially that is because Higuchi is fucking fantastic.
I liked the pre-match promo for this.
Yeah.
Because they showed Higuchi in the rain with an umbrella smoking a cigarette.
Nice.
I go, this guy should be smoking cigarettes all the time.
But Mao's in-ring timing is fucking remarkable.
I agree.
When I watch him do some things and I'm like, well, how's he going to set that up? Oh, wow. Or how's he going to feed into that? Oh, wow. And Higuchi's great. So it's easier when you're in there with another great wrestler.
Of course.
But like Mao is just like he's a fucked up wrestler for a fucked up world.
Sure is.
But God, he is a talented fucking dude.
He's so good.
And the hair's getting long.
I don't like the hair.
Me either. I liked it a little shorter.
Yeah, he's got to cut it. Mm-hmm. Ed, you're the fucking owner of the Ed division.
Get on the horn.
He's part of the Ed division. Let's make a call here, Ed.
Yeah, is he bouncing? Is he getting bouncy, dropping down the scales here, Ed?
Ed said he doesn't like his hair getting long. Yeah. So, Ed, you got to make a call.
I liked it short, a little crazier when it was short.
I did like that he was wearing a 6-foot ditch shirt in his own promo because they're a hardcore band.
There you go. But this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Mao wins, and I didn't expect it.
Yep.
So that was cool as shit. I didn't watch anything else from this.
So it's going on.
Because I saw what the finals were, and I go, I'm good.
Me too. That's what I said. But I had the app on, and I was like, and I was doing something else, and I was like, well, I'm just going to let this run. I'll shut this off, like, whatever. I was actually getting ready to go to bed. This is the last thing I watched. And I was like, well, I'm just going to get this, I'm going to let this run while I go take my, like, pills and brush my teeth and whatever. And I let it run, and it's Chris Brooks versus Daisuke Sasaki, who I do not like.
Yeah.
And that's why I wasn't going to watch this, even though I've been a Chris Brooks fan forever.
Since day one. Shoulder brace brothers unite.
It ends up being it's a no DQ match. Mm-hmm. And when they show the ring, one side of the ring has a barbed wire board.
Okay.
And the other side of the ring has a fork board. And written on the fork board, it says, "Fuck you, Sasaki."
I like that.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. Because I'm at least going to see what they do with the fork board. So, there's a lot. There's chaos in this match. It's fucking bananas. Chris Brooks at one point beats up Sasaki, or Sasaki's like chasing him, and he leaves, goes to the back. And when Sasaki goes to follow him, Daisuke goes to follow him, the Mecha Mummy comes out.
Oh.
And so through the curtain flies the fist.
Oh, I love that.
And then Mecha Mummy comes out. So Mecha Mummy's helping Brooks. And then they do the same thing on the other side with the heel locker room. And Daisuke leaves. And you're like, ooh, who's coming out? And Daisuke comes out with a taser.
Okay.
And he tases the Mecha Mummy.
Flamethrowers, we got tasers.
He tases Mecha Mummy.
I like it.
That's pretty much it for Mecha Mummy. While that's happening, Chris Brooks has bloodied himself somewhere.
Good.
Because he loves the business. Who's the bald guy in the clown mask? MV Paul, what's his name?
I don't know.
You know who I'm talking about,
yeah,
though. Ed loves him.
Yeah.
He gets crushed from behind with the plastic bin.
Good.
So then the plastic bins are out. And then Brooks, it gets put in a crossface by Daisuke. And the camera like pans out a little bit, and there's two staplers on the ring. And he grabs a staple gun and staples Daisuke's hands while he's in the crossface to break the crossface.
I like that.
And then they have a stapler battle where they stand in front of each other in the ring and just staple each other in the chest to see who can take it.
I like that.
And then Chris Brooks takes Daisuke's shirt, pulls it up over his head so he can't see, and staples the shirt to his head.
I like that.
And I was like, what is happening? I'm like, this match is insane.
Shunma's in the States. Somebody had to go
right.
hardcore.
I'm like, it's fucking crazy. Then Chris Brooks builds a plastic bin pyramid of 3 on the bottom, then 2, then 1, and goes to do a move off of it. And ends up sentoning through it.
Ow.
And then gets a spear through the fork board. And then a tiger suplex off the ladder through tables. Brooks does to Daisuke, and Daisuke rolls him up and wins, like, as a surprise little finish. I just thought it was really fun chaos. I don't like Daisuke Sasaki, but that much plunder and a fork board that actually has "Fuck you, Sasaki" written on it made me happy, so I watched it.
Well, I'm happy you're happy.
It was good. It was a lot of fun.
I'm happy Mao wins the finals.
Yes, Mao wins finals.
So
Didn't watch because I don't like Daisuke enough.
Mao is the king of DDT.
Yes, as it should be.
It's going to be Mao versus Yuki Ueno for the KOD title at Wrestle Peter Pan.
Oh, okay.
And then Takesha's wrestling Masato Tanaka at Wrestle
Crazy.
Peter Pan.
Did you watch any of that DDT show with him, Suzuki, or anything?
No.
Nah, I want to go back and watch some of it, but
at this point,
it's a little too far.
I'm fine.
I don't like when like Wrestle Universe does it probably the most, where they're like, "Well, we recorded this, but we're not going to drop it for 3 days,
and then they don't drop it for 4,
and they don't drop it for 4." I'm like, "Well, come on, guys."
Yep.
If it's dropped on a Thursday, it's pretty much dead to us. Sadly.
Yeah, honestly, it sucks, but it's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to All Japan next.
Okay, I didn't watch this.
So I watched from
Talk
the
it up,
All
pal.
Japan Superpower Series.
Yes.
For the Triple Crown title, Yuma Anzai going up against Kento Miyahara.
Okay.
Kento Miyahara getting his title shot because he won the Champions Carnival this year.
Sure did.
This is one that goes about 26 minutes.
Was that what did we watch last time? The Kento Miyahara match, was that the end of Champions Carnival?
I watched that. You didn't watch it.
Okay.
It was Miyahara versus Jun Saito.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it goes about 26 minutes. Yuma Anzai beats Kento Miyahara.
Okay.
I keep liking the Kento Miyahara big match feel. The guy feels like such a main event wrestler to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like he always fucking delivers in these big matches.
Yeah.
He makes it feel big, which is cool as fuck.
I saw people saying that Anzai is like really growing into himself and starting to deliver.
This is going to be one where people are going to talk like if Yuma Anzai goes on like a big run, they're going to talk about this match as being like one that really made him.
Okay.
He throws such fucking good like jumping knees.
I saw that. People
it makes me so happy that somebody's doing the jumping knee correctly.
Right.
And his finish is really dope. So his finish, he picks up Miyahara in like kind of like a half like power bomb position, tosses him up in the air, and then comes down with like a Liger bomb.
Okay.
And it looks cool as fuck. Yuma Anzai wins. Again, I don't know how much All Japan I'll always watch.
Yeah.
But I love this.
Cool.
It felt like another like big classic All Japan main event.
Yeah.
Which I go, just put this in like 95 and like it fits right into that main event scene, you know? Yuma Anzai though, one to look out for.
Yeah. I'll have to start paying attention because like I don't know what it is. We talked about it and he's a very talented wrestler. But Miyahara does not catch my attention.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't get it. It hasn't clicked. It hasn't clicked.
So fucking good.
There's some things he did. I remember though he did that spot like last year where he went through the crowd. I thought was really good. He's done some good stuff, but like he is not a must-watch guy for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, Yuma Anzai now he's beaten. He beat Nakajima for the Triple Crown title. Now he's beat Miyahara, so they're really trying to like put the train behind him for All Japan. Yeah. Where it goes, and who knows?
I'm not watching, but I love All Japan. And so if they get press from these great matches, like I hope they're getting, and like if All Japan grows, I'm never going to be mad about it.
Yeah.
And then I'll jump back on the train and be like, I've been an All Japan fan forever.
I have the hat to prove it, sir.
Kento Miyahara, great guy.
But yeah, I really did love this. I watched this today on my phone, and I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome. Marigold had their second and third shows in the same day?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. They were very short. It was like an hour and a half
they're
each.
House shows.
Yeah. No commentary, one camera.
Right, straight out of Ed's playbook.
Yep.
Marigold Grand Opening Wars. I only watched one match from the afternoon show. I watched motherfucking BOZILLA.
Absolutely.
Versus Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki. BOZILLA is the best wrestler in the world.
Lighting the world on fire.
I fucking love BOZILLA.
So, based on these two shows, and I watched more than you, but I don't want to talk about them because I didn't think they were anything really, like they're good, but they're not worth talking about. BOZILLA, I think, is the only thing worth talking about from these two shows, which is really just one show. Same wrestlers on both, but they're an hour and a half or so. And their roster is small, right?
Yeah.
And
like Julia getting hurt doesn't help them.
But BOZILLA, I think, is the clear standout. When you listen to the crowd, if you see people talking about this company, it's all about BOZILLA or Bojira as they spell it on her thing. Because like there are other really good wrestlers on there, and like and I watch Sari and the tag matches, and they're good and they have fun stuff. But like BOZILLA seems special right now.
Yeah.
And she seems the most special in Marigold.
BOZILLA shoot Alabama slammed fucking Victoria Yuzuki. It was awesome.
So
just a lot of like, almost felt like it was supposed to be like a handicap match a little bit.
It definitely felt like
dude,
it.
BOZILLA
and,
fucking rules.
And I said this online, if we can't get Marcus from Final Wrestling Place into Joshi through BOZILLA, then I don't know.
Mike sent him a very good match to get into that.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, so.
But BOZILLA does
I gotta send that tag match. BOZILLA
does
know the one I'm talking about.
BOZILLA does a test of strength, but it's against both ladies at the same time, and she wins, and it was awesome. She also no-sells strikes from Yuzuki and yells harder like Gary Goodrich. And my favorite thing is at the end of the match, BOZILLA yells, "Size does matter."
Well, yeah. So after the match, BOZILLA gets on the microphone and screams at Hayashishita.
Yeah.
And I said this last night. Post-match says, "I'm stronger, I'm taller, I'm the motherfucking BOZILLA."
That's right.
I won because size does matter.
Insane.
Favorite wrestler she's going today.
Definitely the most exciting of like the Joshi. And like I said, as far as the rest of the show goes, Stardom delivers better. Tokyo Joshi Pro delivers better. These are house shows, so you're not expecting anything. Yeah. But BOZILLA is a true standout. She wrestles on the evening show in a tag match with Nagisa Nozaki against Chiaki and Mirai. Mm-hmm. BOZILLA and Mirai start off, and I'm a very happy boy. But Mirai, who I love, who has one of the best lariats, we're both big Mirai fans. Mirai is like chopping and punching her, and BOZILLA is just laughing at her. I
fucking love BOZILLA.
Just like a big, like, evil villain laugh.
My God. Imagine if Vince had fucking eyes on BOZILLA.
Right?
Holy shit.
And then BOZILLA and Nozaki win, of course, and Mirai takes probably the lowest choke slam I've ever seen. She does not want to jump for this woman.
No.
So she jumps maybe 3 inches and just falls backwards. It's hilarious.
BOZILLA should have fucking dropped
She should have. But BOZILLA, the clear star, storming Japan, like her namesake, just so much fun to watch. We're Marigolders, if you will.
Sure.
We're Marigold diggers. We're Marigolden boys.
Whatever. Sure.
The Marigold standard, the
gold standard is BOZILLA.
But I'll watch. We're going to keep watching Marigold. It's on Wrestle Universe, but. I will probably watch everything BOZILLA does.
BOZILLA fucking rules.
And they should continue to book her in 3 ways that just become handicap matches because she just runs through everybody.
BOZILLA should be your first world champion, Marigold.
I agree.
Win both belts.
BOZILLA needs to get one of those belts.
Absolutely.
For sure. She's too big of a star not to. She doesn't have to do shit.
I'm the motherfucking BOZILLA.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, all the way.
I haven't been fired up about a wrestler like this.
She's fantastic. An absolute star, BOZILLA is. Absolute star.
Go, bitch.
Yeah.
All right. Last promotion.
Yes.
New Japan Pro Wrestling. Best of the Super Juniors. This is from night 9.
What a washout this tournament is.
Yeah, dude. I just haven't cared. Nope. This is only, I think, the third match I've watched from the tournament.
Yeah.
Hiromu Takahashi versus Robbie Eagles.
Yes.
So this is the annual Robbie Eagles is going to have a banger of a match at the Best of the Super Juniors. Because if you remember, it was last year, the year before, him and Teton put on a fucking heater.
Yeah.
To me, I felt this was the same way.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of this.
Yeah.
I love them chopping the shit out of each other. I thought Robbie Eagles' limb work on Hiromu's legs
I love the leg work.
Phenomenal.
Yep. I love the leg work.
Because it wasn't just stomp to the leg, stomp the leg. No, it was
there was a place kick. Yeah.
It was awesome. Yep. Hey, Hiromu went with a roll-up.
Sure does. +3 stars.
+3.
I don't think it reached like a level of the Robbie Eagles Teton, like sort of like, oh wow. But it is a very solid match with really great psychology.
Yeah.
The knee work, like you said, is wonderful. It's probably the most psychology you see in any of these tournaments because they're not really built around that.
Hiromu sells like a motherfucker.
Yeah, it is very good. It's arguably the best match of this Super Juniors tournament.
Easily for me.
But that's what I said arguably. I meant easily.
Yeah.
It is very good. Hiromu wins with a roll-up, so I guess I really can't complain about it.
Yeah.
And Robbie Eagles that was my sort of thought, is like, and Robbie Eagles does just like to be like, hey guys, remember how good I am?
Right, he just, every year in the tournament, he goes, all right, here's my one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to show you my one match of, hey, I'm Robbie Eagles, and I'm pretty good at this.
What a weird, every year this is just never, it doesn't light the world on fire. Well, no, that's not true. Because two years ago it was really good when it had Yuta, and we talk about this every time we talk about Super Juniors. Why aren't you bringing these fucking people back over?
Yeah,
and like I haven't heard
Ace Austin, Alex Zane.
I haven't heard anything more about Ninja Mac in this fucking thing.
No,
you know, all I see is like that the Bull Club matches aren't great. House of Torture shit fucking sucks. Like. It's just
Blake
weird.
Christian fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's super weird. So
yeah, I don't even know where they're at with like.
I couldn't tell you the rankings.
Well, I know the finals are going to be at Dominion.
Oh yeah,
and that's going to main event Dominion, which is next weekend.
Okay.
I assume the finals are going to be set soon. I just don't know. I know that. So on the show today, there was a 20-minute match between Despy and Hayata, which is fucking wild.
Thank you. That's not going to happen for me.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's a no for me, dog.
I don't know who is going where, but yeah, I don't know. When you're pushing Blake Christian,
Yep.
I'm all
Good
set,
luck
brother.
to you.
So that's all I have.
Who's juniors champ?
Show.
Yeah. So like even whoever wins this, they're congratulations. You get a match against Show at Dominion.
No, it's not a match against Show at Dominion. The finals are at Dominion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the finals happen, and congratulations. You get, and Show's the one in House of Torture,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations, you get to go to a House of Torture match that everybody fucking hates as your big reward for winning this fucking tournament.
Stinky doo doo.
Yeah, that stinks. That's stinky doo doo for sure.
No thanks.
No thanks.
So that's all I have.
That's it for me too, pal.
What was your favorite match from America and then from Japan?
Hubby. Man. I mean, I poo-pooed the pay-per-view a little bit, but like it still had really good stuff on it. And I really, really liked Ospreay, Roddy. But but then you saying like there were no stakes on the Anarchy in the Arena really changed my opinion of it, because I hadn't thought of it and I did really like it. But you saying that, I was like, oh yeah, that would be better with some kind of stakes. Huh. And do I go Edge Malachi? But then that dumb thing on it. I'm gonna say Ospreay Roddy for America.
Okay,
I'm gonna go out there.
It was a great start to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think here's why. Maybe it doesn't survive if the next 3 to 4 matches / segments that followed it stunk. Maybe then it doesn't stand out as much to me. But the fact that we were all so fucking pumped, and then it just died a death.
I love the beginning too when Roddy's like doing his kneel down time when Ospreay comes out of nowhere and tried to hit the hidden blade.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Japan is man, best match or how do we do
What's
this?
your favorite match?
My favorite match or best? All right.
That's what your favorite match was.
All
not,
right.
not what you think.
Yeah. So this is I think
which usually your favorite and the best should be the same. But
I think the best in-ring match is Mao versus Higuchi. But for the sake of the thing I had the most fun watching was BOZILLA in that 3-way. I was just rocking and rolling with it.
BOZILLA
I just had so much fun with it.
So my favorite for the US is the Gauntlet match from Dynamite last night.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
I thought
I didn't even consider that one again.
It was so much
a ton
fun.
Of fun, dude. That I know we talked about it on the show already, but the fucking like monkey flip lung blower thing that Hechichero did, I was like, what is going on? Like, he's just throwing these people around.
Yeah.
That guy, make him the fucking AEW World Champion. I love that dude. I love that
Every
dude.
time he's on TV, it just jumps off.
As soon as he comes out, you're like, this entrance music is cool. He looks cool. He's doing the fucking hand shit. Like, oh, I'm a wizard. And then he just gets in the ring. And he's a
wizard.
And he's a monster. Like, he's another, like, kind of big lucha guy. He's not like El Hijo big guy. Like, he's not Dr. Wagner progeny big. but he's still like a thicker guy. But he's just so fucking good. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I didn't steal your
that's
shit.
going to be the Gauntlet match is my favorite from the US.
Good pick.
Then from Japan, I'm going with Yuma Anzai versus Kento Miyahara.
Right, there you go.
Just because it really did feel like a big main event.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, the crowd was fucking rocking.
Where was it? Where was the show?
Korakuen.
Everything's at Korakuen. So, do you think they ever take the ring down on that level?
Yeah,
of Korakuen?
they do. Yeah,
because
they use. It's not a house ring.
Yeah,
it's like.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Like Marigold, they just said that they used Noah's ring because Noah was going to be the next 2 days after them.
Okay,
but yeah,
so that ring does stay set up. I guess because they're just always there. Like it seems like
Korakuen,
4 days a week. There's a wrestling show at Korakuen, which is awesome. Yep. Yeah, it is the best.
All right, you buy anything?
Comic book wise, yeah. Did I buy any wrestling? Oh, I did. I bought my 6.
I don't think your 6.
I don't think I mentioned that. That was the Thursday flea market, but I bought it Friday morning.
You did.
I got my original NWO 6 Elite.
Yeah.
Not in the shorties, in the long boys. With the 6-ball Chachi.
The real NWO one.
Yeah. With the tongue out.
The fucks voted on.
Right. The 6-ball Chachi, the sunglasses, the spray can. So I was like, that's awesome. Because like Brett knows.
You've been wanting that
for a long time, but I wasn't willing to pay the prices. I got a fucking sweetheart of a deal on it.
Yeah.
And super excited because I have the Ultimate Hogan. I have the Hall and Nash. I have the old good Hall that came with the spray can also.
Yeah.
And I have the newer Nash. They work really great together.
Absolutely.
And then now I can finish my NWO proper. I don't need anything else unless they made an NWO Virgil because he was the actual 6-member.
They haven't made one yet.
They haven't. But
they will soon.
But now I got to get the fucking Outsiders Ultimate, so I'm not done.
Yeah, those. Yeah.
Because I'm going to end up selling my Outsiders and putting that money towards the Ultimates.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
Because I have that Nash autograph, so I don't really need it loose. And then the Hall is great, but an Ultimate is the way to fucking go.
For sure.
So I think the NWO Elite Hall that I have is the best Hall until they started with the new head scans, and then that broke it wide open.
1000% agree.
Yeah. So, but I went out of my way to get that Hall because it was the better Hall.
Yeah.
Because I didn't love the bandana one because the backwards bandana one, like that face was like weird and like.
Yeah.
Like all like sunken in. And then like right after that, they redid it again for the Razor.
Yeah.
And they made it fucking perfect. So.
Yeah, Ultimate Razor's awesome.
Yeah, that Ultimate Razor's great too. But yeah, so I'm going to have to get those guys. But yeah, I'm glad to have him a 6. Because I love Waldman.
Waldman's the man.
Yeah.
What did I get? So wrestling wise, actually I got a lot.
Ooh.
Friday, I was at Target with one of my nephews, and they had the Ichiban Hogan.
Yep.
So I said, take that. And
then Adam got the Chase.
Yeah, see, the Chase doesn't do it.
It's just different colored boots, right?
Yeah, there's not different colored tights.
No, it's just the boots.
Yeah, it's just the boots. Yeah,
I prefer the silver boots.
I'm the same. Like I just want, it's fine.
When I that match, he's wearing silver boots. I mean, he probably wore the blue in a different one.
He did,
but the
for
Noki match, it's silver boots, and none of those matches else matter.
Yeah. So I got that, and then Sunday morning I woke up and Target did their everything's on fucking sale now for real cheap, and I looked on the app because I was just there 2 days prior, and the only thing was Hogan. And I looked on the app and they said, these 2 other things are available at Wilkes-Barre. So I said, well, I'm going to buy them, pick them up, and then I'll take my receipt and get money back for my Hogan, which is exactly what I did.
Yep.
So I also got the Sultan because it's so fucking stupid.
And get it for what, $13, $14? $13. Incredible.
Yeah, the Sultan. And I got the Captain Lou Albano.
That's awesome.
Which I fucking love Captain Lou.
Yeah.
You know? So
Captain Lou Albano.
Like, I thought it was cool as shit.
I'm the man of 1,000 faces. Captain Lou Albano.
He comes with the framed record with the broken glass.
Oh, yeah. So that's cool.
I was like, I got to get
If I see that on the shelves,
Lou.
I'd probably grab the Captain Lou.
Yeah, right? Like, it's fucking Captain Lou, dude. So, yeah, that's what I got there. And then I got an Iron Man Marvel Legend. I think suit 20, I think it is.
Okay.
Which is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then hopefully my Marvel Legends cable arrives tomorrow.
Nice.
That's
Captain Lou, Captain Lou Albano.
Fuck yeah, Captain Lou.
Captain Lou's awesome.
I love Captain Lou.
Yeah, I saw somebody in the majors today took a picture of the Dragon pay-per-view special edition.
Yeah, it's on sale.
And it's on sale. He's like, look at AEW, blah, blah, blah. Like,
literally everything's on sale.
He's like, the peg warmers can't get rid of them, gotta mark them down. God. And the comments were like, dude, every WWE figure is marked down right now.
Everything's on sale.
And they're all brand new.
Yeah.
Like Sultan, that's the new line.
The
and
new
they're like
$7
off or $8 off.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in the comments like, dude, like, this ain't a point here.
Again,
you're being stupid.
Bad faith.
Right.
Fucking
It's like this, everything is on sale right now. And then he was like, well, the head sculpt is bad. It's like, okay.
All right. Yeah. Like, okay, dude.
Yeah. How long did it take you to move those goalposts, asshole?
Fucking loser.
But yeah, those are awesome grabs.
Yeah, man. I was very happy that I bought them.
Yeah.
Joe, if you're still listening, if your nephew's still collecting,
I
got a proposition for you.
Oh,
I got some stuff I want to get rid of, but I have a big thing I want to get rid of too.
Oh,
and I don't want it to be too much.
Okay.
But Joe, text me if you're listening. We'll talk.
Oh. I know what that big thing is. You're just gonna hand it over.
Yeah, why not?
You're a generous man.
Okay, man. Kid wants to play with it. Why not?
I agree with you. I think it's a very nice thing to do.
It's so weird because like my nephews have been asking me about wrestling lately, but I'm like, you're just like half in, and like, you know that I like it, you know,
right?
But they see other kids at school, and
wrestling's cool.
Wrestling's cool again.
I mean, wrestling's not cool.
The Rock made it cool again.
That's right. Well, and it's gonna be even cooler.
My goosebumps.
It's gonna be even cooler when that documentary comes out,
which will be never.
It's coming, Joe.
No, it's not.
The Rock certainly isn't hanging it up in any way because it makes him look bad.
Yeah,
it's coming.
It's not.
It's coming, Joe. It'll be there.
Never will.
It'll be there.
That's it.
That's it?
That's all I got.
All right, let's get out of here.
I slapped my forearms real hard.
You just slapped them real hard.
Well, I had the goosebumps.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Did you just show my patch?
This has been We Need Wrestling. You can find us online at WeNeedWrestling.com. Social media at We Need Wrestling.
Look at watch my arms turn red.
I can see it. If you want to email questions, you have any questions for the show, you can either DM us or you can email us at
Don't ask me how my forearms are.
WeNeedWrestling at gmail.com. We're proud members of Superman Network at STBN Network on social media, on Twitter. SupermanNetwork.tumblr.com. Joe's trying to work getting the regular website back up, but that's all right. All you need is the Tumblr. That's where everybody is. That's where you'll find Final Wrestling Place and At Odds with Wrestling and Longbox Heroes and Longbox Heroes After Dark and our other show, Wings on Wings, and Profane Argument and Puzzle Warriors 3, and I don't know, whatever the hell else is coming out.
Sure, if anything ever does.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else?
No.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, and we'll see what happens.
I'm excited to watch a deathmatch tournament on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. You're going to watch it here.
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!